Hello, good afternoon. My name is Richard. This is Matchday Live. This is over and over and over again. And Mikel Arteta is banned from the touchline today, so he's joining me here at Villa Park for the game here, Aston Villa versus Arsenal. It's all coming up the other side of this. So Matchday Live, as we said, it is going to be a good game, isn't it? Well, one of the highlights of the season, isn't it? One of the best games that we could ever want to see in the Premier League. It is Aston Villa versus Arsenal. Of course, Aston Villa won 14 in a row, haven't they, in the at home at Villa Park in the Premier League. And of course, the last team to get points here. Yes, it was us. Now, of course, we've got Mikel Arteta with us today because we know that he's not allowed in the dugout. So I'm just going to ask him, Mikel, what do you think of being on the show today?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Oh, okay. I thought you might have enjoyed it. Anyway, that was Mikel Arteta's faults anyway, from being on the show. I mean, obviously he'd rather be on the touchline, wouldn't he? But anyway, we thought we'd invite him on. I was hoping he might have been a little bit nicer about us, but anyway, not to worry. We'll let him off. He's obviously under a little bit of stress, isn't he, at this moment in time? You know, he wants to be out on the pitch. Anyway, well, let's have the team news then. Shall we have a look and see how the teams line up? This is what we've got for you. So in goal for Arsenal is David Raya, as expected. The back four, Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel, and Alexander Zinchenko comes in for Jacob Kiwior. In midfield, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, and Kai Havertz. And the front three again, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus, and Gabriel Martinelli. So just that one change at left back. Zinchenko comes in. Of course, he did have an impact in this fixture last season, didn't he, if you remember? On the bench then for Arsenal, Aaron Ramsdale, Jacob Kiwior, Cedric Suarez, Raul Walters, Jorginho, Mohamed Elneny, Reece Nelson, Leandro Trossard, and Eddie Nketiah. Now, for Aston Villa, this is how they line up then. No changes from the win against Manchester City. So it's Emi Martinez in goal, someone that we know very well. Of course, their back four is Ezra Konsa, Diego Carlos, Pau Torres, and Luca Digne. In midfield, it is Boubacar Kamara, Douglas Luiz, and John McGinn. And then in their front three, it is Leon Bailey, the match winner the other night, Yuri Tielemans, and he's just behind Ollie Watkins. So that's your lineup. Then what do we make of the team lineup? I'll say just that one change for Arsenal. I mean, I would have to get Mikel Arteta. What do you think of the Aston Villa team line?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Well, we'll see, won't we? I mean, it may well be. If we win, I'm sure that's what it'll be. Anyway, we've got some comments already. Look, here we go. Nathan says, hi Rich, hope you're well. Everyone in the chat, really tough test is. I'm going 2-2. Yeah, I mean, it will be a tough test. Get your score predictions in, guys, as well. Yeah, obviously Nathan's gone for a 2-2. That seems a fair enough result. Man United, yeah. I mean, normally I would be laughing at Man United, but I had them in last man standing, and had they won, I would have won all the money because the other teams in it all lost or drew, actually. So I would have actually won, but they lost. So I'm not very happy with Man United today. Gunnar Dan, so it's all kicking off on United stand. Yeah, see, I'm annoyed with them now because I needed them to win today. I'd have won a lot of money for Christmas. So, you know, Man United can do one. Anyway, Gunnar Dan says, hi, well, I've just watched Mark Golby's reaction to the third goal. Oh, right, okay, yeah, well, I mean, you know, he's probably I'm more upset than he is. I can tell you, I'm guarantee you that. I'm much more upset than he is. Terry says, afternoon, Richard, Nathan, Dan, all in the chat. Come on, you guys, looking forward to this one. 1-3 or 3-1. Not over positive on this one. Now, solid 4-1 to us. Well, I'm not over positive. Not necessarily anything to do with us, just because Aston Villa are a very good team, as we know. Dan says, I hear Kiwior is for the off. Oh, right, okay. He's not. He's on the bench today. Nathan says Bailey against Zinchenko. Yeah, that's a worry, isn't it? It definitely is a worry. There's no doubt about that. We'll have to see. I mean, you know, if Villa play as well as they did the other night against Man City, we are going to have a really, really tough game on our hands, and I think we'll struggle to win. It is up to us. Obviously, we need to, you know, look at what happened at the Man City game and, you know, work out a way to combat the way Villa play and come up with the goods ourselves. Obviously, we've got the quality to do it, but Aston Villa need to be taken seriously, not just in this game, but this season. You know, if they win today, they'll be what? Is it a point behind us? You know, so, you know, if there's no more incentive for them than that today, I actually feel that having Mikel here with me rather than being on a touchline might actually be an advantage. If you remember that game where he was, I think he had COVID, didn't he, when we played Man City at the Emirates? Was it last season or the season before? I can't remember. And Albert was sort of in charge of it all. We played really well that day. The players played with freedom. And in the end, we got mugged off by a terrible refereeing. So I don't actually think Mikel Arteta not being on the bench. I wanted him to be banned for longer. I wanted him to get a 5-match ban all over Christmas, and we might have won all those games. I'm a little bit worried. I would have been more worried about this game had he been on the sideline waving his arms about. But we'll see. What did you make of that comment then, Mikel?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Well, there you go. He's not happy, is he? He's just not happy today at all. Well, I don't know what we can do. Terry says, the good thing for us today, Arteta ain't knowing it. But yeah, exactly. That's what I just said. Yeah, but he's not very happy about it, is he? As you can tell. Gunnar Dan said he's going to be sold. Arteta said he won't stop him leaving. See, this is another one, right? If that's true, I don't listen to TalkSport because I've got better things to do in my day. But if that's true, it's another player that he's brought in that hasn't worked. So what are they doing when they're doing this scouting? We pay good money for him. You've had Sambi Lokonga came in for good money. We've got Fabio Vieira's not good enough. We know that. Nuno Tavares, he's come in. We've got rid of him. That's just 3 examples. There's more. And it's like a recurring theme, isn't it? And I don't know what's going on. Why can't Mikel Arteta work with these players that he's buying? Well, Edu's buying them as well, I suppose. But these are players, obviously, that the manager's picking. You wouldn't allow your manager to. I know we did it with Unai Emery, gave him players he didn't want, but I don't see that's happened with Mikel Arteta. I think he's got players that he's wanted. So I don't know. It's another one that's not working out. Then I think Kirior. It's a bit like the rest of the squad. Look at today, right? We just had a tough game on Tuesday, and yes, it's Saturday today, so there's enough rest time. But he's made one change to the team. That's it. He hasn't made. You couldn't you? Jorginho could have come in today. I think that'd be a sensible thing up against Douglas Luiz, in midfield. I think he's probably a better option in there. In an away game like this, rather than Kai Havertz. I know Kai Havertz has been playing well, but I'd have maybe had him come off the bench today. He could have made that change, for example, couldn't he? Trossard as well could have come into that front three. Maybe Martinelli a rest. I know he scored a goal the other night. I don't think he's at his top form. We could have made a couple of changes there as well, couldn't we? Just to rotate the squad, give everyone minutes. And Mikel Arteta doesn't do that. It's like he doesn't trust his other players. And I find that quite frustrating. And obviously, some of the players have found it frustrating, which is why so many of them have left the club or wanting to leave the club. And if Jacob Kirior is the next one, then it's just another in that long line, isn't it, of players that Mikel Arteta has brought in that hasn't worked out. But anyway, let's not worry too much about the players that aren't playing or the players that want to leave. Let's focus on the players that are playing at the starting 11 today, which is, it's a good starting 11. Don't get me wrong. I've said this before. We've got one of the strongest, if not the strongest, starting 11 in the Premier League. The problem still for me is what can come off the bench to influence a game. Eddie Nketiah is our only striker. Yes, Trossard today, he can come on and maybe make an impact. But other than that, we're struggling, aren't we? So, I would have. See, this is a sort of game where you'd be better off maybe taking out, say, Martinelli and Havertz, and playing Trossard and say Jorginho, and then you've got Martinelli and Havertz to come off the bench, and they're more likely to make an impact than maybe Eddie Nketiah would off the bench. You see what I mean? So I don't know. You just got to try and do it a little bit. I don't know, think about it a bit more maybe sometimes and rotate your squad a little bit more than he does. He just picks the same starting 11. There was only, 2 changes the other night, 1 change today. One of the changes the other night was an enforced one because Tomiyasu got an injury. And he changes the left back quite a lot, doesn't he? Seems to do that. Zinchenko seems to swap a little bit, doesn't he, in that position? Tomiyasu was there before, and obviously Kirill played the other night. Dan says that's what I disliked about the England team in the Beckham Neville days. He hardly changed the team game after game. They became predictable. Yeah, I think with England or the national team, it's slightly different, isn't it? Because you've only got your team for a short period of time. You only get a couple of games at a time, and then the players go back to their clubs. And I think maybe having a settled team in international football is maybe slightly a good idea. But in league, in like club football, because you've got games all the time, you need to rotate your team more. You have to, because you don't win anything with 11 players or 12 players. It's not the 1980s anymore when everyone did that. Liverpool all their players used to play 60 games a season. But it's not like that anymore, is it? So you need to use your squad. Terry says, I rest my case on Arteta. Wasted more money on players that hasn't worked out, plus all the players that have left for free. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, players about to pay off. Yes, and some of those ones, to be fair, wasn't brought in by Mikel Arteta. He should have managed them better, obviously. But my big issue is the players that he's brought in or that have come in while he's been manager that have now had to be moved on again. They're my problem. That's my issue. And I'm sorry, Mikel. I know you can hear me there, but I just want to. What do you think about this? And what do you think about people saying that your signings haven't worked out?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Well, I agree with you. It is embarrassing. Some of them are. You've made those decisions, though, mate. You need to stick by them. But yeah, I agree with you. It is a disgrace, quite honestly. And it will be another disgrace if we lose Jacob Kiwior, a player that you haven't given enough minutes to. Anyway, Mikel Arteta will be giving us his comments throughout the game, I'm sure, as we go along, because I say he can't be on the bench today. He was going to sit in the director's box, but I invited him on and he's decided to sit with me. Yeah, so it's good, isn't it? Anyway, the teams are just coming out at Villa Park. Obviously, Aston Villa are in their claret and blue with white shorts, and Arsenal are in the same kit we wore at Luton. I hope they washed it in the meantime, the horrible, bright, luminous yellow one, which nobody really likes today, let's be honest. If anyone says they like it, they're clearly lying because it's horrible. Anyway, it's been a reasonably good kit for us this season because we haven't lost in it, have we? So not in the Premier League anyway. So maybe it's a lucky kit. It just doesn't look very nice. Anyway, we're just getting ready for one of the Aston Villa players has just taken his tracksuit jacket off and gave it to one of the mascots. It is a very windy evening here in the West Midlands, the second city, of course, and Aston Villa under a manager that we know quite well, don't we? Unai, of course, who I must admit, when he was at Arsenal, it clearly wasn't working at the time. Now, I believe that's because he wasn't backed enough by the club. He wasn't given the players he wanted. He was given players he maybe didn't want. And, he wasn't maybe given a fair crack at it. And looking at what he's done at Aston Villa, had we given him the same leniency that we've given Mikel Arteta, had we given him the players that he wanted like we have with Mikel Arteta, then I believe we would have been in the Champions League before we've got there now. I think so, and possibly even more than that. You can see what a very good manager he is with the right players with the right backing. But that's in the past now. We can't go back. He's doing a great job, Unai Emery, and I'm pleased for him. I think he's a nice guy. He always comes across well in his interviews. He did at Arsenal, didn't he? He's always polite, isn't he? Good evening and all that kind of stuff. So he's a nice guy. He's a good manager, great manager. He's doing a great job, and fair play to him. And should Villa win this game tonight, then wow, they are right in that mix, aren't they? They are right in the mix. So it is a massive game, and we're going to have to rise to the occasion. We're going to have to play better than we did on Tuesday against Luton, aren't we? Because let's be honest, the Luton performance was, in fact, I'll tell you what, we'll have to. Mika, what did you think of the performance against Luton the other night?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
We won the game, though. So, I mean, don't be too hard on the performance. We did win. It wasn't a great performance, I agree. But anyway, we got the 3 points, didn't we? So let's be pleased with it. But yeah, we'll have to play a lot better today. There's no doubt about that. We can't afford to concede the sort of goals we conceded against Luton for a start, can we? Big night for David Raya as well. He's come with a lot of criticism. I'm sick of all this talk of Ramsdale and Raya. Arteta's made his choice. He's picked David Raya as his number one. And if you back Mikel Arteta in all the other decisions that he's made, you've got to back him on this one. I personally don't. I personally don't think that David Raya is doing too badly. Look at our defensive record. Yes, forget the other night. That's one-off game. He had two terrible mistakes for goals. That's the goalkeeper's life, isn't it? All the top goalkeepers make mistakes letting goals, and that's the way it is. And the important thing is he bounces back from that today. He needs to have a good solid game, and let's hope that he does. Jamie's in the chat. He says, "I'm happy with Arteta being banned here. This will show us if we're actually a team together. And I'm interested in seeing if we can attack more rather than be very defensive and control." Yeah, no, I agree. I'm quite happy he's banned. I wanted him to get a longer ban, actually, because I think that the team maybe benefit from being more free. without Arteta on the sideline. Terry's 100% Emery treating Terry. Well, yeah, he was. I thought he was treating Terry. Terry says, "Come on, you guys! Indeed, come on, you guys! Let's get this game won. It is going to be Arsenal kickoff. Saying the bright luminous kit. We are attacking the goal to our right in this first half. We are off and underway here at Villa Park. Aston Villa versus Arsenal. It is fourth versus is it third? No, fourth. No, third. They're third, aren't they? Third versus top. This is like a really big game. This, and there's only 4 points between the sides. Arsenal coming forward straight away over on that far side. Opportunity to maybe get the ball in the box. Gabriel Martinelli puts the ball across the 6-yard box. Comes back out again. A good block actually. Kai Havertz with the shot. It was a really good block there actually. That was by Boubacar Kamara. That was a very good block. And Arsenal started this game pretty sharply. Mark Z says, "Come on, you rip-roaring Reds." Well, it's rip-roaring sort of luminous yellows today, isn't it? But anyway, Villa are now coming forward. Douglas Luiz, who's playing well for Villa, isn't it? There's obviously talk of him maybe coming to Arsenal. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Anyway, it's the dangerous Leon Bailey over on that far side running at Zinchenko. Declan Rice has had to come across and double up because we know how badly at defending Zinchenko is. He's done okay there, but he has conceded the corner. We've played a minute at Villa Park and Aston Villa had their first corner. They are attacking the whole end at Villa Park. For those who are familiar with the stadium, it is Villa Park and the whole end, and that is where Villa are attacking. It's the end that they did score the goal in the second half on Wednesday against Manchester City. Very good Aston Villa performance that was, wasn't it? Outstanding, in fact. Anyway, it's a corner now, which Leon Bailey himself is going to take. It's very crowded at 6-yard box. They want to put it on David Raya, don't they? They saw what happened the other night, and Villa want to stick it on him. The referee, by the way, is Jared Gillet, however you want to say it, and he's just stopping this corner, having a word with some of the Villa players there. There's a lot of pushing and shoving and hands-on inside the penalty area. So the referee didn't like that at all. You know, Martin Odegaard's facing the wrong way, which is a bit silly, isn't it? You want to turn yourself around, mate. I know you're trying to mark him. Anyway, the corner comes in towards the near post. Not a good corner, headed away by Gabriel Jesus. Mark C says there, this away strip, it just ain't grown. I mean, no, I think it's awful, honestly. I think it's the worst kit we've ever had, actually, away kit we've ever had. Anyway, it's a throw to Aston Villa, which Ezri Konsa is going to take over on that far side. He's had a good season, hasn't he, Ezri Konsa? He wasn't always so highly rated, was he? But he's had a really good... Well, all the Aston Villa players have, let's be honest. Anyway, Aston Villa are back in possession. It is Pau Torres inside the centre circle. And that ball's played forward by Costa, Diego, not Diego Costa, is it? It's Diego Carlos. He had a great game the other night, didn't he? Against Erling Haaland. So he's got to stop Gabriel Jesus tonight, though. That's going to be much more difficult, isn't it? Anyway, Pau Torres again finds Diego Costa. That's a good ball into the box, and David Raya comes out. Doesn't really be too convincing there. I think William Saliba was in his way a little bit, actually. And the goalkeeper comes out there, didn't really get hold of that ball at all, did he? And in the end, Ben White has to complete the clearance. Not convincing goalkeeping from David Raya again. And this is a worry, isn't it? You know, is his confidence still shaky a little bit from the other night? Anyway, it's Digne now coming forward for Villa, puts the ball into the box. They're going to put a lot of balls into the box tonight. We know that they will. Douglas Luiz plays the ball out to the far side. Villa are now starting to get on top. They're knocking the ball around where a lot of possession in front of Arsenal's defence. Now it's with Pau Torres again. Just plays the ball back again to Costa, and now Diego Carlos. And now Villa coming forward. That's a good run. And was that a foul by Kai Havertz? Referee says no. And now Arsenal can launch a counter attack. This is where we could be dangerous. That's a good tackle actually on Gabriel Jesus. I think that was Costa Carlos again. Diego Carlos there is a good tackle there on Gabriel Jesus inside the centre circle. And it's got a bit scrappy the game there, but now Villa are looking to get the ball forward again up on this near side. Ollie Watkins just outside the penalty area. He's inside the penalty area. Now Watkins tries a shot. It's blocked by Ben White. Odegaard can't clear it though. This is good pressure from Villa. Watkins again twisting and turning, trying to get the ball in. He does get a ball inside just 6-yard box, headed away by Gabriel, and then Martin Odegaard completes the clearance, but Villa pick up the second ball. This is a very fast start from Villa. Mark C says going back to Tuesday night, it was my birthday. What a great result. Oh, fantastic. Happy birthday for Tuesday. What a celebration that you must have had when Declan headed that one in. It was an incredible game, wasn't it? Let's be honest. And yes, we were a bit fortunate to win, but there you go. That's life, isn't it? You know, you have to try to win as many games as you can. It doesn't matter how you win them. Anyway, Saka now on his near side. First time he's really had the ball, actually. And that ball's pinged out to that far side to Martinelli. Concert is in front of him. Martinelli puts it into the box. It's going to be Saka around the far post. Oh, he should have done better there, Saka. Better first touch. Well, he tried a shot of his first touch. If he'd got that ball under control, he had a little bit of time as well. That was a lovely bit of play, actually, there. The two wingers there combined. Saka out to Martinelli. Martinelli put it back in again. He was onside, Saka, and he just couldn't direct that on target. It's gone behind for a goal kick, and that's Arsenal's best, only opportunity so far. We played 5.5 minutes. Saka there, a bit of space. Well, if he'd got a better connection on that, could well have been Arsenal in front. But as it stands, it is Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0. We have played 6 minutes now. Just want to see what Mikel Arteta. What did you make of that chance there for Bukayo Saka, that finish?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
It wasn't that bad. Anyway, he could have done better. Mark C says, "Booth Saka with a chance." Yeah, it was a chance. It was a decent chance, actually. Anyway, now Villa in possession over on that far side. Playing the ball into midfield. Kamara. This is good play from Villa. They've got a player over on the far side. Is that Bailey again? He's inside the penalty area. Leon Bailey. He's going to try and pull it. Oh, he has pulled it back. McGinn. Oh, he scored. John McGinn. It was Leon Bailey with the assist. Too much space down that far side. Terry says 1-0. It is indeed 1-0. Absolutely no marking. No, not great defending there. You have to say it really wasn't. And Aston Villa have taken the lead. But let's remember, they did go 1-0 up, didn't they, in the game last season as well. So let's not panic too much. But that wasn't a great goal defensively. It's good play from Villa, though, down that far side, down their right. It was Boubacar Kamara was involved, first of all. Played the ball to Leon Bailey. He's got inside the penalty area, got to the edge of the 6-yard box, pulled it back. McGinn had far too much time there to turn and fire that in. Russ says there, I'm so angry with that goal. It wasn't great defending at all, was it? I mean, look, he's got too much space. Ben White was far too far away from him there. That is Ben White's fault as much as anybody else. He just didn't get close enough there, did he? He's allowed him to turn and finish. I don't think David Raya did that very well, did he? I mean, Mikel, what did you make of that defending there from Arsenal?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
And I do agree with you. It definitely was embarrassing, and it is a disgrace. And Arsenal are losing 1-0. We've got Twellenber in the chat here, my friend. He says evening, and evening to yourself as well. Mark Cecil, he was nowhere to be found. Terry says, yeah, Zinchenko needs to go. Oh, Zinchenko is terrible. We all know that. Although Ben White needed to do better there, didn't he? When that ball come in, he's allowed. How can you allow a player on the edge of your 6-yard box to turn and get a shot in? You've got to be there, haven't you? You've got to stop that happening. But anyway, that wasn't a great piece of defending at all by Arsenal. I don't know where Zinchenko was. He was probably in midfield where he likes to stand about, doesn't he? He likes that centre circle, doesn't he, Zinchenko? He was probably there. Steve says, hello, or 1-0 already. It is 1-0 already, yeah. What time is it over there? You probably be in the middle of the night, is it for you? I mean, I'll go back to bed if I were you, mate, because it's going to be a long night for you. I think it's going to be a long night for all of us. Anyway, that ball played up that far side. Martinelli's going to try and keep this in. He does keep it in. Conser is across there. See what Villa have done? They trust their defenders. They've just put in one-on-one with Saka and Martinelli. Anyway, Arsenal now trying to come forward, but Villa didn't really deal with that particularly. It's going to go behind, is it? No, it's not, because Martinelli has kept it in. Oh, and again, that's good defending there from the Brazilian there, Diego Carlos. He's a good player, isn't he? He had a great game the other night, actually. Anyway, Villa now trying to come forward again. Ollie Watkins on this near side, but Declan Rice steps in and manages to keep the ball in. Does he? He does. Saka is going to get there. Is he? No, he's not, because the defenders come across Pau Torres and puts it in. So the Arsenal fans down in that corner on this near side. We've played 9.5 minutes. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. Villa looking for a 15th home win in a row in the Premier League. Incredible run. It'll be a club record if they can do it. They equalled the record the other night of 14 But Arsenal were the last team to get anything here. That was last February, of course. We were twice behind in that game. So let's not panic just yet. It's only 1-0 and there's plenty of time left. But it wasn't really good defending, was it, for that goal at all? It was terrible. Anyway, Zinchenko's going to take the throw over on that far side for Arsenal. He's got the ball again right over on that far touchline. Tries to play the ball up the line. He has done. Can Martinelli keep it in? He has done. The Villa fans thought he went out. It's gone out now. It is going to be a throw to Aston Villa. And we've played 10.5 minutes. It's John McGinn, the Aston Villa captain, with the goal. Let's see where Zinchenko was actually in all of that. Oh, I see. He got sucked into midfield. There you go. He got sucked into midfield and then he couldn't get back. He didn't even try and get back in the end. And actually, yeah, that's terrible defending. That is terrible defending, you have to say. But Ben White, you've got to get closer to him, Ben. You grew up as a central defender, mate. I'm sorry, that's poor. That is poor. Yeah, it was a disgrace and embarrassing. Anyway, Arsenal trying to come forward now to put that right, but that's not a great ball. And that is going to run through to Emi Martinez. He hasn't really had a touch of the ball yet, has he? And we've played 11 minutes here at Villa Park. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0 already in this game. And not really the start we wanted. Mark C says, weren't we 1-0 down for a long time last season? Well, we were 1-0 down and we equalised quite quickly, didn't we? And then we went 2-1 down just before half time. And then we equalised quite early in the second half, didn't we? And then, of course, we had that late drama. So we were behind twice, but we wasn't behind for a massive amount of time, either time. We equalised quite quickly. But let's hope we can do the same today. Saka there thinks he was fouled. He was fouled. Gerard Gilley gives the free kick, and Arsenal trying to get some kind of possession of the ball, really, because we haven't really had the ball much at all, have we, so far? Anyway, Zinchenko is in his favourite position in the centre circle where he likes to be. He's going to be a referee when he finishes playing, isn't he? Because he stands inside the centre circle all the time, like most of them do. Terry says, Zinchenko cocked up already with 80+ minutes still to go. Well, yeah, maybe he's got it out of the way early. Anyway, that's a ball over the top looking for the run of Kai Havertz, but it's run all the way through to Emi Martinez. And the goalkeeping debate shouldn't have even ever occurred, had it, if we'd kept hold of Martinez. I know he wanted to leave, but that's only because he wasn't guaranteed the spot he wanted in the team that he felt he had earned. And looking back now, that's a bad decision, isn't it, by the club to have allowed that to happen. But anyway, let's not worry about that. David Ray's in goal for us now, and he wasn't at fault for that goal. There's nothing he could have done with that, really. It was bad defending in front of him, so you can't blame the goalkeeper for that. He didn't look too convincing with the ball into the box a little bit earlier, but he certainly wasn't at fault for that goal, David Raya. But is he good enough? Is he a good enough goalkeeper for us to win the league? Martin Odegaard now, oh my days, what is that? Saka's going to have to get his skates on here, and he can't. He's gone behind. Nathan says there, such a poor pass from Odegaard. Yeah, we've been poor actually so far, haven't we? We're not finding our passes, and of course Unai Emery did get one over on Arteta, didn't he, in the Europa League at Villarreal a couple of years ago in the semi-final. They went on to beat Man U in the final as well, didn't they? So this is a quality manager that Aston Villa have got that we had and let slip through our fingers, and yeah, it could end up being for us a case of what might have been. Imagine if Unai Emery had been given these players, well, not that he'd have bought all of these players because they may not have been the sort of players he wanted, but imagine if he'd been given the players he wanted. I still sometimes think to myself, wow, what could have been. But anyway, we are top of the league, and although we're losing this game, let's not worry too much about that for the time being. Mark C said our passing's a bit erratic today. Yeah, it is. And again, look at that there. Another one just kicked straight out of play. On this near side, really, really poor that was Gabriel Jesus. And you know, today for me is such a big test. Terry says did I just see Emery say, is this Arsenal team is shit? Yeah, he did, yeah. And Mikel Arteta just said
it's a disgrace, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a great comment, is it, from Unai Emery there? But you know, he's entitled to his opinion, isn't he? But Arteta isn't very happy about that. He's not very happy about Arsenal's performance so far either. And there's not much he can do about it because instead of being on the touchline, he's sitting with us today, as you can see. But Arsenal are in possession, and it is It's Zinchenko, look, almost in the centre circle again. He just loves it there, doesn't he? He loves that centre circle so much. I'm surprised he doesn't get a deck chair out and sit there and when half time's on that and has his cup of tea inside the centre circle. He just loves it so much. Anyway, he's in there again now. He's a left back, by the way. He's a left back, just to point it out. And he loves being in the centre circle. And that was one of the reasons why we conceded that goal. Anyway, Villa have just won a throw. Declan Rice had to be quick there because Ollie Watkins didn't give that up. And Villa are playing this 100-mile-an-hour football that blew Man City away the other night. And so far, it's blowing us away as well. And they're in possession now with Diego Carlos. And now we're coming forward again. Arsenal got a break here. It's Kai Havertz on the edge of the penalty area. Finds Bukayo Saka. Tries to cut inside. It's blocked. Comes back out to Declan Rice. Does well to hold off. Couple of challenges there. Finds Ben White. That's a terrible cross, actually. And it's going to go onto the roof of the net. I know the wind is not making it easy out there. But anyway, even so, still wasn't a great effort there, was it, from Ben White? And Boubacar Kamara has gone down. Mark C says there, what was that from White? Balloons it right over. Yeah, that's terrible, isn't it? Terry says there, why didn't Havertz hit that? Yeah, he maybe should have done, shouldn't he? When it opens up to on the edge of the box, sometimes you just got to give it a go, haven't you? Nathan says there's Zinchenko and Rice picking the ball up, but there's no option to just play the ball back. Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think that's just our fault. You know, Villa are very, very organised and they're very good at shutting down those spaces. That's what they're doing. They're shutting down, they're closing the doors, aren't they? So there's nowhere to go with the passes sometimes. And I think we've got to take that into account as well. But yeah, it's not great at all at this moment in time, is it? It's very, very poor. You know, Martinez has taken that goal kick. He's gone to Ollie Watkins, but he can't get that ball under control. And now Saliba on this near side got the ball. We hemmed in a little bit, but we've managed to get out of that there. Ben White plays out the line to Bukayo Saka. And then it comes back again to William Saliba. Finds Gabriel over on that far side. 17 minutes played. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. Zinchenko threads the ball through. But again, it's a poor pass forward. That was Martinelli. But the clearance isn't great. And Martinelli's touch isn't great either. And Boubacar Kamara picks it up. But Gabriel Jesus pinches it off him. Arsenal coming forward here on the edge of the box. But again, we run into trouble. And the ball's going to go all the way through to Emi Martinez. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. 17 and a half minutes played. Not a great 17 and a half minutes from Arsenal, you've got to be honest. I mean, Aston Villa have got the lead, and you have to say at this moment in time, they probably deserve to be in front as well, the way this game's gone. Anyway, they're coming forward again with Yuri Tielemans over on that far side, but Arsenal do pick up possession again. Gabriel touch it into Declan Rice. Now it's with Zinchenko. And he just plays the ball square to Declan Rice again. The guy's dropped in to receive the ball, but Declan Rice keeps hold of it. He's just coming into the centre circle now. And that's where Zinchenko is again. He just loves it there, doesn't he? It's his little place, honestly. It's his favourite place, isn't it? His happy place, the centre circle. Anyway, William Saliba's got the ball now. Finds Zinchenko inside that centre circle. Try to thread the ball through to the run there of Kai Havertz. That's good defending there from Aston Villa, and he's won a free kick as well. It was Evre Konsa there, was fouled again by Kai Havertz trying to get in. It was a decent ball actually from Zinchenko, looking to get in the wrong side of the fullback there, but it was good defending from Aston Villa. And we've played nearly 19 minutes at Villa Park. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. I say not convincing from Arsenal at all in these opening stages here. And Aston Villa have got the lead. It was John McGinn with the goal, the captain for Aston Villa. And Villa running into trouble there, and Arsenal pick the ball up. This is not opportunity now. Kai Havertz again throws the ball out to that far side to Gabriel Martinelli. Can he get a cross in? He's just inside the Villa penalty on that far side. That's a poor decision, but he has managed to get the ball back. He tried to find Martin Odegaard on the edge of the box, but Villa were back. But he's managed to win the ball back again, and now Arsenal back in possession with Martinelli over on that far side, but McGinn's there. And it's gone behind for a throw to Arsenal. I don't know why he didn't maybe try to whip a cross in there. He tried to play it to the edge of the box, and Villa had read it. They'd read it well and just cut it out. And we got a little bit lucky with a deflection that came back to Martinelli. You know, Declan Rice now is trying to drive Arsenal forward. Dinks the ball out to that far side to Martinelli again. Again, he's faced by Konsa. Again, he puts a cross in, but it's a poor ball straight into the arms of Emi Martinez. And that wasn't great at all, was it? Terry says, what the hell is going on? Well, what's going on is we're playing. See, one of the reasons why I've had doubts about this team is, our only tough away game this season, or a game against one of the bigger clubs, if you like, was at Newcastle. We had one shot on target all day, really, really poor, and lost the game. This is our second one, and already we're 1-0 behind and looking really, really poor. We've got Liverpool to come soon, our next away game. And that's another one, isn't it? And I think if we did lose this game today, there's still a long way to go. So let's not panic. But if we did lose this game today, and then we lose at Liverpool, the only 3 tough away games we've had in the first half of the season, and we've lost them all, and that shows me no real progress at all. Because this is the problem that Arsenal have always had for many, many years, isn't it? This sort of lightweight away from home at the big clubs, difficult away games. Anyway, Villa coming forward again, looking for a second goal. Surely that's a foul again by Kai Havertz, and it's going to be a free kick to Villa about 10 yards outside the penalty area. It was Tielemans who was fouled there by Kai Havertz, pulled his shirt there, quite a clear foul. And Tielemans went down to make sure that the referee had seen it, and fair enough, it's a foul. Nathan says Rice is such a Rolls Royce of a player. He is. Declan Rice is a fantastic player. But he can't do it all on his own, can he? I mean, he did the other night, but generally he can't do it on his own, can he? So yeah, we need a little bit more, don't we? Well, hang on a minute. I seem to have a little problem with the other line. I don't know why. It's just not working very well. Anyway, not to worry. But anyway, Villa have got this free kick. It's about, 10, 15 yards outside the Arsenal penalty area. Just slightly over on that far side. Zinchenko is getting himself in the way when he just wants to get himself in the wall and actually defend and do his job. Anyway, it is a free kick here. Douglas Luiz is over this. Luca Digne's over this as well. Tielemans as well. And Leon Bailey was there, but he's walked away over on that far side. This is certainly within range of a shot, isn't it? It's about 30 yards out, 35 yards out. So it's definitely within range of a shot. Let's see whether he's going to try a shot. Is it going to be Douglas Luiz or Luca Digne? So you need a left footer here, I think. So maybe Luca Digne is going to be your best bet for Villa. Well, it looks like actually it's going to be Douglas Luiz. No, it is Luca Digne. It's into the wall. Comes back out to Douglas Luiz. His shot's blocked, and now Saka can try and get a counter attack, but he can't do because Aston Villa defenders there. It is Diego Carlos, who's an absolute monster, isn't he? Villa trying to come in again. Oh, that was a little bit better defending, but only just. Ben White had to come inside. And Villa are looking to try to get a second goal. Arsenal players gone down inside the centre circle. It's Saka this time. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Douglas Luiz is pulling him to his feet. The referee seemed unimpressed. He hasn't given a free kick. Well, no, it was strong play by Douglas Luiz, wasn't it? That's all it was. Anyway, Saka's back on his feet again. And Villa have got a throw, over on that far side. Throw it up that line. It's Ollie Watkins does well, but Declan Rice steps in and Zinchenko plays it back to goalkeeper David Raya. David Raya dinks it up his near side to Ben White. Can Arsenal get something going here? But Ben White's tackled there from McGinn, but Ødegaard picks the ball up, plays it in to Jesus. He's very wide on this near side. Ben White's back for cover. He goes back to Martin Ødegaard on the edge of the penalty area. It's with Jesus again. He's forced back a little bit though, finds Declan Rice. Declan Rice plays it into Jesus again. It's his intricate passing from Arsenal. It's come through to Bukayo Saka, pulls it back. Good defending though from Villa. It's only as far as Ben White. Arsenal almost clicking into gear there. Declan Rice plays it forward. That's a poor ball from Declan Rice, actually, unusually for him. Douglas Luiz brings it clear, but he's then fouled by Martin Ødegaard, I think it was. And it's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa. We've played 24.5 minutes. It is Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. It was a goal from John McGinn after about, 8 minutes or so. But Saka there did well, pulled the ball back. It was well tidied up on the edge of the 6-yard box. Mark C says, we wasted that build up there by overcooking it. Yeah. We want an extra pass, don't we? We want one extra pass when sometimes it's not needed. But anyway, Villa now got a little bit of space here on his near side. It's John McGinn again at the goal scorer. He tries to dink the ball into the penalty area there, but good defending from Arsenal. Just about. It was William Saliba steps in, and now Saka's got the ball. Arsenal looking for a counter attack. Zinchenko plays it square to Ben White. Now it's with Bukayo Saka. And that's another poor pass from Arsenal. Really, really poor that was from Saka that time. He was looking for Jesus, but he never got nowhere near it. It's gone out for a throw to Aston Villa. And are Arsenal rattled, do we think, maybe? I mean, it's been a fast start from Villa. And maybe Arsenal are a little bit rattled by that. But we need to settle down soon because we're coming up towards, 26 minutes of this game. It's another throw to Villa on this near side. Ollie Watkins, maybe it was. Oh, no, it's a throw to Arsenal. Sorry, Ollie Watkins claiming it should have been Villa's ball, but the referee said no. It's going to be Ben White to take this throw on this near side for Arsenal. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0, and Villa have been pretty good value for this lead. Arsenal have had some moments, but our passing's letting us down, especially in that final third. Just not really good enough. And we need to do better. We've got to start doing better. Otherwise, we're going to find it very difficult to get back into this game. But Villa are playing well. They're in possession now. Mark C says, all too often we opt for the extra pass instead of getting a shot away, which might catch the keeper off guard. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do this all the time. And it's all Martinez almost let the ball run away from him there. It was not going to go in the goal. But anyway, he's now cleared it away. Zinchenko chests it down to Declan Rice, gets it back again. Now it's with Declan Rice facing his own goal. And he may have to go back to goalkeeper David Raya. He does. And then Raya plays it out to that far side to Gabriel. But yeah, you're right. You're right. We do want to do one pass too many. Because Arteta's focus is on possession, isn't it? It's a very possession-based style and system. And sometimes you need to be more direct. And Villa are more direct. They get the ball wide, they get the ball in the box. And it's difficult to play against a team like that, isn't it? And that's why we're having trouble. What a great ball that is, actually, over that far side to Leon Bailey. He looks like he's injured, actually, Leon Bailey. He had a great game the other night, didn't he, against Man City. And he now may not be able to play much further part in this game because he's limping a little bit there over on that far side, Leon Bailey. Oh, and then Zinchenko was turned and then he pulls back. Yuri Tielemans, he'd be lucky not to get a booking. Well, he has got a booking in actual fact. He's such a liability, isn't he, as a defensive player? Why on earth he keeps getting picked, I do not know. Terry says Zinchenko done big time. He was, yeah. Tielemans just, turned away from him and he pulled his shirt and, rightly got a yellow card. He's going to have to be careful now, isn't he? And I honestly don't know how he's getting picked as a left back when he can't defend. Nathan says, don't worry, they only have Diaby on the bench. Well, yeah, I know. See, they've got that John Duran as well. He's quite good, isn't he? The Colombian guy, he's pretty decent. Anyway, Villa coming forward again. Long ball played forward, but that's going to go all the way through to David Raya. And Leon Bailey looks okay now. He's sort of moving a little bit better over on that far side. So he might be able to continue. Maybe just got a little knock. Arsenal in possession now. Declan Rice plays it forward to Zinchenko. Almost got caught in possession by Bailey. In fact, he's won a free kick. Bailey maybe got a little bit too tight there and conceded a free kick. And now Martinelli, that's a terrible touch from Martinelli. And Konsa just takes the ball off him. And now Aston Villa in possession again. And it's with Diego Carlos, plays out to that far side to Konsa again. And then it goes back to Emi Martinez. And he plays up this near side. This is good from Villa, actually. It's now come to Luca Digne, plays it up the line. Can Ollie Watkins get there? He can't because William Saliba is there showing great strength. Again, finds Declan Rice. You have to say Declan Rice and Saliba are the key to this team, aren't they? And you do fear that if either of those two or both of those two were to be out of the team for any length of time, we would really struggle, I think. Declan Rice keeps things ticking over brilliantly in midfield, dictates the play, and Saliba at the back is an absolute monster, isn't he? You know, so those two are so important. Mark C says, once Timber is back fit, Zink's playing some will become. Well, we don't know, do we? We don't really know how good Timber is because he's not played much football for us. He looked good in some of the pre-season friendlies, but that's nothing, is it? You know, he's played 45 minutes in the Premier League, and we can't judge him on that. Yes, he's looked good, what we've seen of him, but let's give him time. You know, I'm not expecting him to come back from a bad injury, and I don't think this season he's going to play that much. I think he'll be getting minutes here and there to start with, but I don't think that Arteta's in any. I don't think he's in any rush to change Zinchenko out of the team. I really don't. I'm just trying to get this adjusted right. That doesn't look bad, isn't it? Anyway, Aston Villa now trying to play it out from the back again. Oh, they've lost the ball on the edge of their box. Declan Rice tries to find Saka. Oh, and why didn't Saka maybe try again? But anyway, Arsenal came forward again. Martin Odegaard finds Saka again on his near side inside the box. Saka cuts in field, but it's straight into the arms of Emi Martinez. Terry says shoot. Mark C says soft shot. Yeah, it was a very soft shot. Yeah, but at least Arsenal pressing high up the pitch, forcing errors from Aston Villa, and we managed to create an opportunity from it. Saka with his right foot. Sorry, cutting on his left foot. He was on the right hand side, so onto his left foot. Usually he can strike a ball better than that, but Villa have now got a shot at the other end from Ollie Watkins. But again, that's a comfortable save from David Raya. So a couple of efforts at both ends there in quick succession, but neither really tested the goalkeeper enough, did they? Let's be honest. They were quite tame shots, really. So I still don't think that looks right in the back there, does it? Like my head looks a bit weird on this thing. I was just trying to adjust the setting. But anyway, I don't seem to be able to change it too much. It just looks the same. And if I go too much that way, it goes like that. And if I go too much that way, it goes all fuzzy. I'm just trying to get it right. It might be the picture's a bit funny, isn't it? Anyway, what do you think of it, Mikel?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, you're probably right, but I can't. I'll try to change it. It's not letting me change it. So, Terry says, "My eyes are hurting watching this rubbish." It's not great. Let's be honest. It isn't great. But then there were spells on Tuesday where it wasn't great either, and we somehow managed to find a way to win coming from behind. Can we do it again? Obviously, Villa are a lot better team than Luton. Let's be honest. But anyway, second hand possession. Arsenal not really moving the ball too quickly in this final third. Declan Rice gets it to this near side. Ben White into Bukayo Saka, tries to give and go, but that's going to go out of play, is it? No, it isn't. Ben White's kept it in. Villa maybe thought it was going to go out and sort of stood and watched. Anyway, Saka now plays it into Martin Odegaard, and his shot goes into the side netting, but Martinez had it covered, and there wasn't really any danger of that going in. He was always going away from the goal. Marks, he says, all didn't connect right. No, he didn't. He cut. At least he had a shot though, but Martinez had that covered quite clearly. And if it was going in that corner, he would have just saved it. But a little bit better from Arsenal though. We're starting to maybe force some errors from Villa. We've had one or two little opportunities. I wouldn't say they were big chances. Ollie Watkins just been fouled there by Saliba. Those two are having quite a battle actually, aren't they? William Saliba and Ollie Watkins in this game so far. They've had quite a little battle there, and Saliba again a little bit too tight. He's pushed Watkins in the back. It is a free kick to Villa. We've played 34 minutes virtually here at Villa Park. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. That early goal from John McGinn, who's having a very, very good season for Aston Villa. He's got the ball there in front of Declan Rice, and he's won at the free kick again. Arsenal getting a little bit too tight, and McGinn tried to take that free kick quickly, hit it straight at Declan Rice. And those two are having a little bit of conversation. England against Scotland now, of course. Anyway, Douglas Luiz plays it back to Diego Carlos. Now it's with Pau Torres, plays out to that far side. And Concert just about keeps it in. Plays it back again. Oh, my light's coming back on again. It's been a strange little light anyway. Arsenal again pressing high up the pitch, trying to win the ball back with Gabriel Jesus. Douglas Luiz put under pressure. He's done well there, Douglas Luiz, actually, there, and managed to get the ball away. But Arsenal coming forward again. Martinelli over on that far side. Gabriel Martinelli plays it in to Kai Havertz, just plays it off to Zinchenko running through there. But Villa again defended that pretty well, and they're looking to get a counter attack where William Saliba steps in. A great performance here from William Saliba so far. It's now with Ben White, who maybe didn't cover himself in too much glory with the Villa goal, did he? You have to say, but he's not done too badly since, apart from one terrible cross he put in. Anyway, Declan Rice now plays the ball out to that far side. And Gabriel plays the ball over the top to Martinelli. Come all the way through. Martinelli chips it over the keeper, but it's cleared away off the line. Only as far as Saka, and Arsenal now pressing for the equaliser. Gabriel Jesus on the end of the box. Great block. And Arsenal can't force the ball home. That's the nearest we've come to Martinelli. They chipped it over Martinez, but he didn't really have the conviction. And in the end, Aston Villa managed to clear it away. But that's maybe the best Arsenal have produced so far. Certainly the nearest we've come to a goal in this game so far. We've played 35, 36 minutes. And the ball there, he chipped it over Martinez there, didn't he? Martinelli. Nathan says, unlucky, great pass by Gabriel. Yeah, it was a great ball. Oh, I think he would have been offside anyway, looking at the replay. He got it over the keeper, but it didn't really have the power or the conviction, and Villa cleared it away. I think that would have been offside. When you look at the replay there, I think Martinelli was just offside. Anyway, it was Diego Carlos was back there to hoof the ball clear. Mark Cecil, at least we actually applied some pressure. Yeah, no, we've been better for the last 10 minutes. We have been putting a little bit more pressure on, but we haven't really had a clear opening, have we? A clear-cut chance. You know, Emi Martinez had one fairly comfortable save to make from Saka. We've not been anywhere near clinical enough so far. But anyway, Villa trying to come forward again. They've won a free kick in midfield. John McGinn's fouled. Nathan says Carlos having a good game for them, to be fair. Yeah, he did the other night against City, didn't he? He was brilliant against City, actually. And he is having a very good game. He's a strong defender, isn't he? Another Brazilian in the Premier League. There's quite a few these days, isn't there? Probably more Brazilians in the Premier League now than there's ever been, I would imagine. I mean, we've got a few, haven't we? Aston Villa have got two, of course, with Douglas Luiz as well. So yeah, there's a few. They've got Buendia as well. Or was he Argentinian? I can't remember that. He's South American, isn't he? Anyway, Martinez, who is Argentinian, has just kicked the ball out for a throw. To Arsenal, this near side, it's Ben White. Going to take this throw, throws it into the feet there with Bukayo Saka. I know it's Gabriel Jesus, so he twisted a turning away. Forced him backwards, but only as far as Gabriel plays out to that far side again. Oh, that's a poor ball cut out by Ezri Konsa. And then, look like he was fouled. The referee says no. Martinelli's played the ball forward. Arsenal coming forward now. Kai Havertz plays it across the box. Jesus touches it off. Martin Odegaard. This is a chance for Arsenal. Martin Odegaard. Oh, that's a great save. That is a great save there from Emi Martinez. Maybe Odegaard should score there. It was a quick bit of passing. We passed the ball quickly and we create chances. And it came to Martin Odegaard there. Got onto his left foot on the penalty spot it was. But Martinez read it well and was able to make the save. He should really score it though, shouldn't he? He didn't really put it in a corner. That's a great save, to be fair. That is a very good save. You've got to be honest about that. You have got to say it's a good save. But I don't think Martin Odegaard really got hold of that as much as he should have done. Nathan says it has to be 1-1 for me. Yeah, he should have scored, but it is a decent save. It is a decent save. You've got to be honest and say that. Mark C says, yeah, delayed striking it. Yeah, he did delay striking it a little bit, yeah. Yeah, he should have done better. I mean, Mika, what did you make of that shot from Martin Odegaard?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Okay, I didn't think it was that bad, but anyway, it wasn't a great shot, but I thought it was a good save. I thought it was a good save from Martinez, actually. He was at full stretch, but yeah, maybe again lacking a little bit of conviction, aren't we? When we get into that final third, we do seem to be lacking a little bit of conviction, don't we? I'm sure Mikel, just behind me there, is going to have some words to say at half time, which is about 5.5 minutes away. But Arsenal just won the ball back actually over on that far side, trying to come forward. And Villa have picked up the ball again. Now it's Villa's turn to press us high up the pitch. Tielemans plays the ball through. Oh, this is a chance for 2-0. Good save from David Raya. Oh, he was offside anyway. Was it Bailey again? That was Ollie Watkins, actually. It was Ollie Watkins out. He was offside anyway, as it turns out. But that's a good save from David Raya. You know, he's had a lot of stick, hasn't he? A lot of criticism for the last week. But that's a really good save there. Let's see if he was offside. Let's have a look. Oh, he wasn't. He wasn't. If that goal went to VAR, that goal would have stood because he was onside. He was onside there, Ollie Watkins. Wow, that was a very good save then. So it makes it a better save now, doesn't it? Now we know the goal would have stood. So brilliant from David Raya there. Terry says, save Raya. Indeed, it was a very, very good save from David Raya. And, you know, I'm sure he won't get any credit for it by all the Aaron Ramsdale fans, but it was a very good save. And it's kept us in this game because at 2-0, just before half-time, you have to say that's a big mountain to climb, isn't it, against this team. Anyway, Leon Bailey now coming forward over on that far side for Villa. Not finished yet. He's inside the penalty area, Bailey, twisting and turning. He's a dangerous little player, isn't he? But that wasn't a good ball, actually. And Arsenal can pick up the ball now, looking to get a counter-attack going. But that wasn't a great ball from Kai Havertz. And the ball's now back with Emi Martinez. In fact, it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal because the referee tried to play an advantage. See, that's good refereeing now. There was a foul on Kai Havertz. The referee tried to play an advantage, and Havertz tried to thread the ball through to Martinelli over on that far side. And it didn't reach him. So the referee pulled it back. And gave a free kick to Arsenal. That's the sort of thing that the referee at the Man City game last week tried to do, didn't he? And didn't maybe pull it off. Whereas that referee there did a great advantage there. But suddenly Arsenal in again. Jesus over on that far side. Can he get a shot away? He does. Another save from Martinez. And then Luca Digne puts it behind for a corner to Arsenal. That was a good save there. It was Gabriel Jesus over on that far side. Arsenal took that free kick quickly. Villa maybe caught out a little bit for the first time. It was good play from Jesus. Got inside the area, cut inside, tried the shot. Yeah, it's fairly close to the goalkeeper. He's had to just push it away there on his left-hand side. It is going to be a corner to Arsenal. And Jesus has gone down with an injury, actually, just after having that shot. And it is a corner to Arsenal. Terry says, save again from Martinez. Yeah, it was a good save, yeah. Mark C says, Jesus is much better when he reacts instinctively and gets a shot off sharp. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he is. It's when he overthinks it, isn't it? And tries to do too much. You know, we've got a corner now, which Bukayo Saka's going to take on this near side. Bukayo Saka swings it into the near post. It's flicked on by Kai Havertz, was it? Or was it Ollie Watkins maybe got it? Is it going to be another corner to Arsenal? Dangerous corner, actually, to the near post. Oh, it was. Watkins actually got in between the two Arsenal players, headed it over behind his own goal. It's going to be a corner again to Arsenal. Again on his near side. Again, it's going to be Bukayo Saka. His 150th Premier League appearance today for Arsenal. It's coming on the back of his 200th Arsenal appearance last week, wasn't it? And now he's taking this corner for Arsenal again. We're into the last 2 minutes of the first half. It's been a frustrating first half. This last, that's a better corner, but Emi Martinez comes and gets that, and he's now claiming that he took a whack on the backside, and he's gone down. I'm not sure if the referee's given a free kick, but anyway, Terry says, why did Arteta think let's sell Martinez was a good idea? Well, it wasn't so much that, was it? Martinez wanted to be given the number one slot, didn't he? And Arteta wasn't prepared to do it. We said burnt Leno then, didn't we? So Martinez said, well, I'm going to leave then. Could Arteta have done more to try to kept him? Yeah, I'm assuming so. I don't know, but yeah, it looks a crazy decision now when you think that soon after that we got rid of Bert Leno anyway, brought Ramsdale in, who I don't think anywhere near as good as Martinez. And now we've got David Raya, who, while he's an upgrade on Ramsdale, isn't as good as Martinez either. So we've spent a lot of money on two goalkeepers, neither of which are as good as a goalkeeper that we let go for less money. Anyway, Villa now coming forward again just to come down towards half-time. The ball into the box. It's a dangerous cross in, but Saliba's there, heads it away. You feel quite secure, don't you, when Saliba's defending? But again, Villa looking quite dangerous, and they haven't given this up. We're into the last 30 seconds there. Mark C says, didn't we get half decent money for it? I don't think it was that much, was it? 15 million, was it, or something? it was nowhere near what we paid for Aaron Ramsdale. Put it that way. Anyway, of course, he wasn't a World Cup winner then, was he? Probably worth more now. Oh, and that's terrible defending from William Saliba. Just saying how great William Saliba is, and then he's just made a terrible mistake there, and the ball's gone behind for a goal, for a corner, to Aston Villa, and we are coming up to stoppage time, and that was just terrible there. I mean, he didn't really look, did he? Saliba, really poor pass, and it's gone behind. It is a corner to Aston Villa as we move into stoppage time at the end of this first half. Villa 1, Arsenal 0. We need to be strong here from this corner. How much stoppage time are we going to get? We've not seen yet. 2 minutes only. Okay, 2 minutes. Anyway, it's going to be another corner to Villa. Again, they're going to try and get this onto David Raya. Having watched that game the other night, it's a sensible tactic. The wind seems to be blowing towards this end as well. Corner comes into the near post. It's a good header away this time by Ben White. I think it is an Arsenal now looking for a counter-attack, but that's not a great ball forward. And Villa can try and bring the ball forward again on this near side. This is really good play from Pau Torres. A decent cross as well. Zinchenko misses it, and it's going to come across to the far post, but Jesus is there to clear this away. We've played 30 seconds of stoppage time. Nathan says, commentators curse. Yeah, it probably was maybe I need to say how great Emi Martinez is, and I hope that he might then make a mistake at the other end. But anyway, Kai Havertz was fouled there. It's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. We've got a minute of stoppage time to play at the end of this first half. Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. Not a great first half from Arsenal. We've had one or two moments, one or two half chances, I would say. We might have another one here. The ball played out to that far side. Gabriel Martinelli inside the box. Tries to go around the outside, puts a cross in. Nobody's there. It's gone behind for a throw to Aston Villa. And again, not sure why Martinelli didn't maybe try and go for goal then. Was he offside that time? Jesus was offside. But Jesus didn't get the ball. Martinelli didn't. I don't think he was. But the ball sort of stuck behind him a little bit, and then he had to cross it, and it's gone behind for a throw. Mark C says, in fairness, we've dominated the last 10-15 minutes. We should be back at 1-1. We only really had that one really big chance, didn't we? The Ødegaard one, I felt, was a big chance. The others have been half chances. I mean, yeah, we've grown into the game a bit more, but I never get the feeling that we don't look as though we're going to score particularly, do we? That's the worrying thing for me. But, you know, Martin Ødegaard had the best effort. And, yeah, if he'd maybe been a little bit more composed there, we may well have got ourselves back level. But as it is still 1-0 into the last 30 seconds or so at the end of stoppage time, at the end of this first half, which Aston Villa will be absolutely delighted with, won't they? They got the early goal and they've basically kind of kept it, and the ball played forward there, but Martinez is out of his box and kicks it long. Zinchenko's underneath it for Arsenal. Still coming forward, Arsenal, at the end of this first half. See if we can get level before the break. I'm not sure if we're going to get time. In fact, we won't do now because Villa have just won the ball. And in fact, there goes. He didn't play the 2 minutes. Oh, he did play 2 minutes. Yeah, of course he did. It's not more than 2 minutes he played. Anyway, it's half time then, and it is Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. And you have to say that it hasn't been the best first half from Arsenal. Terry Boone there says it was crap. Yeah, it wasn't great. Mikel? What did you think of that first half?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a little bit harsh. Personally, it wasn't a great first half, but you know, as Mark C said, you know, we certainly played a bit better towards the end, and had we had a better finish from Ødegaard, we may well be level, and then we wouldn't be. It makes a totally different prospect to the game, doesn't it? But it's a big second half coming up now, isn't it? Because you know, Villa haven't lost when they've scored first for a very long time at home. So you know, well, since obviously we beat them last time, I suppose, last year. So yeah, anyway, so there was of course a load of games earlier on today, wasn't there? So let's just have a look, shall we, at the scores for you from this afternoon's games. So this is what happened earlier. Crystal Palace 1 at Liverpool 0. Palace led actually a penalty from Mateta. And then Liverpool equalised with Salah, his 200th goal for Liverpool. And then it was Elliott, stoppage time winner for Liverpool. They're actually currently top of the Premier League. It was Brighton 1, Burnley 1. Burnley took the lead in the first half from Odegaard. And then Adingra equalised for Brighton. That finished 1-1. The big scoreline, of course, we mentioned a bit earlier, Man United 0, Bournemouth 3. Wow, what an incredible scoreline that is from Old Trafford. Solanke, Billing and Senesi with the goals for Bournemouth. They're incredible. Sheffield United 1, Brentford 0. Their old manager, Chris Wilder's back, his first game back, and they won 1-0 against Brentford. Wow, big result for Sheffield United. And at Molineux, it finished Wolves 1, Nottingham Forest 1. It was Toffolo for Forest in the first half. And then Matthias Cunha equalised as he scored against us, didn't he, the other week? So Wolves got a 1-1 draw with Nottingham Forest. As I say, it is obviously Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. Some games tomorrow as well, isn't it? Everton against Chelsea, Fulham against West Ham, Luton against Man City, and then Tottenham are playing at Newcastle at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Don't forget, tomorrow, now, of course, we've got much more exciting things to be doing. We have got the Arsenal Women's Watchalong. It's 12:30 kickoff, Arsenal against Chelsea. An Arsenal win will put us level on points with Chelsea at the top of the table. So join me for that. That is going to be an epic game. That kicks off, say, 12:30. I'll be at 12:15 for that one. And it's going to be such a good game, so join me for that. Andreas, it will be at the Emirates, of course. He was on the show last night, wasn't he? From his hotel in London, his usual hotel, which is the Motel 1 at Tower Hill, isn't it? So if you're around the Tower Hill area and you bump into Andreas, or you're at the Emirates tomorrow, he's in club level, so you'll see him. He's difficult to miss. He's about 6'8". He's a very big guy. He's a big friendly giant, what we call Andreas. He's a great guy. So if you do see him at the Emirates tomorrow, in one of the pubs before the game, or he'll probably be in the toilet before the game, and obviously he's in club level in the ground. So if you see him, please say hello. He would love to meet you. And just say you've seen him on the channel, and he'll appreciate that, I'm sure. So yeah. So that's tomorrow. That's going to be good. But before that, we've got the second half of this game where we want a little bit more from Arsenal, don't we? Nathan says they're poor first half, bad decision making, execution of the 5-3. Yeah, that sums it up pretty well, mate. Absolutely. And Nathan says, I do think it's still all to play for a second half. Yeah, of course it is. It's only 1-0. At 1-0, anything can happen, can't it? You know, a 1-0 lead is never a secure lead, is it? And it certainly isn't when you're playing against Arsenal, because of the quality that we've got. But yeah, we need to do better than we did in that first half. Definitely, we need to be much better. So let's see what happens. But yeah, big second half coming up, isn't it? Or Villa will be 1 point behind us, won't they, if they win? Well, that would be quite amazing, wouldn't it, when you think about it? How far ahead of them we were. But yeah, I mean, what a run they've been on under Unai Emery. You've got whatever you thought of Unai Emery as Arsenal manager, and I know a lot of us at the time didn't particularly rate him, did we? But you've got to say what a job he's doing at Aston Villa. Just incredible, really, really incredible. So, but yeah, let's see if we can pull this around, shall we? Let's see if we can pull this around and get the result that we need. I mean, I think we'd all take a draw now, wouldn't we? We would all take a draw, but anyway, we need to do a bit better if we're going to get a draw, because Villa have had a couple of chances to get a second goal as well, haven't they, since they scored? So, you know, it's certainly not something that we can sit back on and think, okay, you know, we can maybe find an equaliser. You know, Villa came forward here, they're just showing a goal again. Lovely play down that far side, and it was Leon Bailey pulled the ball back. I mean, how much time has he got there, McGinn? I mean, that is terrible. Ben White punches the ground in frustration, but you've got to do better, mate. You've got to do better. I'm sorry, you've got to do better there. You've got to get tighter to him. But anyway, of course, I'm not allowed to comment on things like that because I don't have the, you know, I've never played Premier League football, so I can't criticise Ben White for that because I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway. That's what Jerry Barton thinks anyway, doesn't he? So we have to go along with it. Actually, why don't we ask Mikhail? Come on, mate. What did you make of Jerry Barton's comments the other day?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
I think most people agree with you, actually, mate. Yeah, it probably was a bit, wasn't it? Let's be honest. But anyway, Terry says, "Have faith. We can still nick this 4-1." I mean, we've done some good comebacks at Villa Park, haven't we, in the past? We've got a decent record on this ground, actually, a really good record. I know we did lose here twice in in Mikel Arteta's first 2 visits as manager, but that was the first time we'd lost here for about 20 years or more. So we've certainly had opportunities in this game as well. Just showing a few now. That one from Saka. There's another one here from Saka as well. That shot, that was the one that was blocked. He did have another shot, didn't he? Which I think this is the one here when he comes back onto his left foot, and it was too close to Martinez. And of course, the Ødegaard one was the big one, wasn't it? Really was the big one. Here we go again. Oh, that's the Ødegaard shot in the side netting. I mean, we have had moments. Yeah, you look at the highlights here. I mean, I know highlights don't necessarily always reflect the game as a whole, but we've had moments here. You can see that there was a Martinelli one there when he chipped it over the keeper. And then Martinelli again. Oh, this is the Ødegaard one, isn't it? When he could have shot first time, didn't, and then it was a good save. Actually, that's a good save from Martinez. But yeah, he's got to do better, hasn't he? Really, let's be honest. Look, Nathan's given us a £5 super sticker. Thank you very much, my friend. Good one. Thank you. Really appreciate it. But yeah, we have had our moments. So when you see the highlights there, you think, maybe you're right, Mark, what you said before. Maybe we could easily have got it to 1-1. We've had some chances, but we haven't looked convincing in that final third. That's been my worry. We just haven't looked convincing, have we? So we need to be more ruthless in the second half. We're going to have to be, otherwise we're going to lose this game. And I say that'll be two of the big teams away from home. The only two of the, we'll say big teams. We have to consider Villa a big team now. They did finish in a European place last season. They're in the top 4 this season. In fact, if they win this game, they'll be a point behind us. So they are definitely a big team now. It's a tough away game. And so far, we're coming up short, as we did at Newcastle, as we've done at, a lot of the big teams away from home for a number of years. Man City, Liverpool, we haven't won there for years, have we? Man United, we've got a really poor record there. And you've got to bear in mind, we've still got all those away games to come, haven't we? We've still got all those away games to come this season. Of course, Liverpool is their next away game, isn't it? Just before Christmas. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. These are the games for me that that you see the character of your team. Yes, the other night against Luton, I thought we showed character. We were losing in the second half and we got ourselves back level and then we won it at the end, and that's character. But you don't win the league by winning away at Luton, do you? You should almost, if you want to be challenging for the league, you should almost take it for granted that you will win at Luton. Now, of course, the circumstances of that game were what they were. It was tricky, but we found a way to win. And I kind of like that. But I say Luton aren't a big team. Luton isn't an away game that you would put down. And this is one I'm a little bit concerned about. This is where you want to see an Arsenal performance. But today is one of those games. We knew anyway before Wednesday night when they played Man City, we knew what a difficult game this was going to be. Newcastle away is a tough game. We know that. They're a Champions League side this season. Villa away is a tough away game, and they're the only 2 really tough away games that we've had to play. I say all away games are tough, but you know what I mean? Playing against the bigger teams, the better teams away from home. You look at who we've played away from home this season, and I've not been shocked by the results that we've had. We've pretty much got the results I would have expected us to have picked up away from home. Brentford, Crystal Palace. Who else have we won away at? We've won away at teams you expected to Everton, who were struggling at the time. So nothing. Bournemouth when they were struggling as well. We maybe got a bit lucky. I wouldn't want to play Bournemouth away at the minute because they're absolutely flying, aren't they? They're in great form. But when we played them, they were struggling, and but they're not big teams anyway, are they? They're not they're the sort of away games. Whatever form Bournemouth are in, if we're going Bournemouth away, you would expect us to win. I would. With this team, with this group of players, you'd expect us to win at Bournemouth away. So. But these are the games today, aren't they? I say the Newcastle game, this game, Liverpool game coming up. They're the games to me that you see what your team's about. And yes, we could be at 1-1 here at half-time and we'd be looking at this a little bit differently. But, so far, once again, in a game like this, we're coming up short, aren't we? We are coming up short. Mark C says, I thought Martinelli was going to pull off a Pires-style lob. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't... he needed a left foot to do that, didn't he? He hasn't quite got a left foot, has he? Terry says the old woman's making some spicy chicken wraps. Anyone want some? I just had me dinner before I started the show, actually. Nathan says they are a dangerous side, but a really good manager, quality players, which they will no doubt add to. Yeah, exactly. They are a very good side. Oh, absolutely, you're right. Nathan says I've just had some chicken fire burgers. Oh, well, there you go. I had some chicken and pasta actually just before I came on. Post-match meal I played this morning, which was good, but it wasn't actually. Anyway, Marcy says before the match, I said I'd settle for 1-1. Yeah, I mean, I think we'd all have settled for a draw. You know, Villa have won their last 14, isn't it? 14 games at home in the Premier League. So, of course, you'd have to take a draw. A draw is a decent result. I think a draw away from home at any of the big teams you'd take, wouldn't you? I'd have took a draw away at Newcastle. I'll take a draw in this game. I'll take a draw away at Liverpool. But we're not there, are we, in this game yet? We've got to do more. We've got to find a way. And as the game goes on, it's going to be interesting, actually, to see how we play it, because if it's still 1-0 with 10 minutes to go, it's happened before, and I've never really feel that we throw everything at it. You know, we don't make attacking subs. He'll probably bring Eddie Nketiah on, but he'll probably take Jesus off. It'll be a like-for-like swap. He may well bring Trossard on, but he'll probably take Havertz off. So it's almost like a like-for-like swap. What I would do is, you know, if we're still losing 1-0, you might as well go for it a little bit. I'd bring on Trossard and Nketiah, or maybe take off like, I don't know, Havertz and Zinchenko or something, and just try and go for it, throw the more bodies forward and cause them more problems in the last 10 minutes. That's what you've got to do, haven't you? If you're gonna try and get something out of a game. But I can't see Mikel Arteta doing that. He never does. Terry says at least Erdogan ain't gone missing yet. Well, Terry says I'd settle for 3-1, but I want 4-1. At the moment I'll settle for 1-1. Let's be honest, I would. But anyway, it is what it is, as they say, and we are losing 1-0 at half time. But let's hope for a better second half, shall we? It certainly can't be much worse, really, can it? For God's sake, they took it off Facebook again. Why do they keep doing this? It says copyright infringement. There's no copyright infringement. I'm going to have to see. Last time, what I did, I appealed against it and I won, and they put it back on. Well, there is no bloody breach of copyright, mate. So you can bugger right off. I bet they banned me again from Facebook on the back of it. They did last time. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I keep doing that, man. It's just annoying. There's no need, because there's nothing. I'm not using any. Leon Bailey's gone off and Moussa Diaby's coming on for Aston Villa. He looked a bit injured, didn't he? He did look a little bit injured, let's be honest. I'm going to submit an appeal to this again, by the way. Nathan says someone's got it out for you. Yeah, it seems to be. I'm not really sure what's going on. I'll do that later, actually. I don't even know what content it is. Last time it said it was something to do with dads and sports or something. There's nothing on here that's copyrighted, is there? So I don't understand what they're on about. Anyway, Mark C says, here we go. Terry says, come on, you gunners, get your finger out. Indeed. So that's about to make that change. So Leon Bailey's gone off with that injury. And it is Moussa Diaby who has come on, who's a very good player as well, let's be honest. He's no slouch, is he? So it's going to be difficult, isn't it? Anyway, Martinelli now's got clear on his near side. Plays towards the edge of the penalty spot. Martin Odegaard was coming in. Good defending, though, from David Luiz. John McGinn is trying to work some space on this near side. But again, I was picking the ball up. Kai Havertz finds Martinelli. Odegaard into Jesus. Jesus trying to get clear. Oh, my days. He's thrown himself to the floor there inside the penalty, looking for a penalty. Why does he do that? That's so annoying. That is just not Arsenal at all, is it? I don't know why he keeps doing it. Anyway, we're pressing high at the pitch. Ball comes across. Saka again's missed his kick in front of goal. Oh, that's twice there. He's had opportunities there. Bukayo Saka. Jesus is still moaning about he should have had a penalty. What is he doing? They just both go for the ball. That's not a penalty, is it? What are you doing? I mean, he has caught his leg, maybe. Actually, yeah, maybe he has caught his leg looking at that replay. Oh, are they looking at this VAR? Because if they are, I mean, he went down like he'd been shot, which I don't think helped his cause from the referee, if I'm honest. Mark C says that might be a pen. Mark says, was that Saka with the air shot? It was, yeah, that's 2 today he's done, isn't it? He's done 2 air shots, Saka. He's on a hat-trick. Obviously, VAR have not overruled that decision, and it's not a penalty to Arsenal. I mean, it would have been very soft. Again, had the referee given it, I don't think VAR overturn it, but as the referee hasn't given it, they're not going to overturn that either. And I think that's probably fair enough, if you're honest. But anyway, Saka's now gone down with a kick to the back of his Achilles. He certainly takes some punishment, doesn't he, Bukayo Saka? And he just gets up and carries on. What a lad. Anyway, Arsenal now trying to come forward. We started the second half pretty well, actually. We forced Villa back. We played 2.5 minutes. And that's a lovely ball from Zinchenko, but Martinez is out at the feet there of Gabriel Jesus. The Brazil versus Argentina battle there, won by the Argentinian. And it remains 1-0 to Aston Villa. But this is much better from Arsenal. We wanted a response, didn't we? And it looks like we've got one. Be interested to know, actually. Obviously, Mikel Arteta's back with us. He's obviously did the halftime team talk. What did you say to the team, Mikel, about their first half performance?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Okay. I mean, I didn't think it was that bad. But anyway, they seem to have woken up, though, now. Oh, we're just giving the ball away. Martinelli, it's inside the penalty area. It is the RB. Plays it back to Constance. I know we've put ourselves under a little bit of pressure here. John McGinn, the goal scorer, tries to play the ball to the far side, but Saka's there and just about manages to deal with it. And Arsenal managed to get themselves out of a little bit of a tight spot there, actually, but we managed to get away with it. And now we're coming forward up this near side with Martinelli, but Constance across there, strong and defending again from Aston Villa. Martinelli's now gone down. And Aston Villa certainly aren't shy, are they? They're certainly not shy of a tackle or two. And Martinelli's now gone down. Is he going to require some treatment or not? I'm not sure. He's making the most of it anyway, isn't he? I mean, it was a mistake a little bit by Constance, first of all. The header didn't go very far. And then it's a good tackle, actually. It's just a good tackle on him. I don't think that's a foul either. He's won the ball there, Constance. I mean, he did maybe catch him as well, but no, I think he's just won the ball. Otherwise, if we're giving them as fouls, then we're never going to be tackling anybody again in football, are we? Anyway, it's a throw to Villa on his near side, which Constance is going to take. Throws it to John McGinn, but Arsenal pick the ball up again. Zinchenko, but that's not good from Zinchenko, but he does manage to win it back. And that's all you can do. If you lose the ball, try and win it back. And he did, as Zinchenko's on the ball again. Plays it right this near side. That's a good ball. Martinelli's onside. Can he get a cross in? He always likes to come back on his right foot. It's a decent cross. Good defensive header by Digne, actually. Comes to Jesus on the edge of the area. And then he's tackled by Douglas Luiz. In fact, the linesman's flag is up. Was that an offside? It surely wasn't. Martinelli wasn't offside, was he? I don't think he was. Anyway, we played 5 minutes of the second half. Mark C says, I wish Martinelli could cross with his left foot. Yeah, he needs to cross with his left foot. I mean, Mikel, what do you make of that comment from Mark?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Well, Mikel doesn't agree with you. I kind of do. I think you're right. He should cross with his left foot. He doesn't want to do, does he? He's always cutting back. And it becomes easy to read, doesn't it? As a defender, you know that's what he's going to do. So you're not worried about him going around the outside as long as you just step in and, you know, you should be able to deal with it. I mean, it's not always easy to deal with because he's a good player. Oh, we're just giving the ball away on that far side. From a throw, Ben White's throw, and he's got the ball back, but it was a poor ball back to him. It was Declan Rice, actually. Nathan says there's space to exploit in behind Villa. Just need to make sure the ball is right. Yeah, we need to do it quicker, move the ball quicker. I think sometimes we're getting in that final third and we're, I don't know, fanning about a bit too much, and it's not working, is it? Anyway. Arsenal pick the ball up again. Now we are coming forward. Now we have got a chance here. Kai Havertz threads the ball through to Martinelli. Oh, that's really good defending actually from Konsa. He's done a good job on Martinelli today, hasn't he? Ezra Konsa. He looks a very, very good defender in actual fact. Maybe deserves an England call up. Anyway, Saka over on that far side. Thinks a ball in towards Jesus, but Emi Martinez is out. And that's a quick kick there. Looking for Diaby, but he looked like he felt he was fouled there, but the referee said no. And we play on with Zinchenko. Oh, he nearly lost the ball again, Zinchenko. He got away with that one a little bit. And now it's back with William Saliba. And then Ben White thinks the ball up that far side, looking for Saka. He's got him behind Digne. Saka's done well, actually. Turns away from Digne. He's pulled back there. Was he just outside the box? It's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. And a yellow card for Luca Digne there. Saka did him all day long there, didn't he? Turned away. Brilliant play that was from Saka. Turned away from Digne there. He's got hold of him there. And he kept hold of him and then he pulled him back just outside the box. And I mean, Saka's claiming a penalty there, but it wasn't. It was outside. Nathan says, well played, Saka. Yeah, it was really good play from Saka. And Luca Digne's got his 5th yellow card, so he'll be suspended for their next game, won't he? And Arsenal got a free kick just outside the penalty on this near side. So it's not a shooting opportunity, it's a crossing opportunity. It's, about 5 yards outside the penalty area, just over on that far side. And Saka can maybe whip this in with that left foot. Let's see if we can create something here. We've got a few bodies out the near post inside the 6-yard box. That's where the ball needs to go. Maybe cause a little bit of uncertainty to the Aston Villa defence. Gabriel comes up as well to join in. Declan Rice is just on the edge of the penalty area. Saka with it, plays it short. Oh my days, what are we doing there? Get the ball in the box. Terry says, what a waste. Trying to be too smart. Yeah, trying to be too smart. Exactly. Why don't we just get the ball in the box? Put it into that near post. The goalie doesn't want it there, does he? He might have just come and got that ball. But yeah, Martinez doesn't want that, does he? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's just ridiculous to me. But anyway, sometimes you think Arsenal try to play too much football rather than just sometimes you've got to play percentage, haven't you? Get the ball in the box. Because when it's in the box, anything can happen. It can be a mistake. It can bobble about. It can hit someone. It can fall to your player. It can go in. Anything can happen. You've got to get the ball in the box, haven't you? That's what you've got to do. And I just don't understand why we don't do that enough. We almost won the ball back there on the edge of the box, but Martinez is out quickly. And Arsenal have been much better in the second half. You've got to say, we're looking a little bit more dangerous, but we still haven't managed to really have that big chance, have we, to get this equaliser. And we've played nearly 10 minutes of this second half. Aston Villa still 1-0 up. That early goal from John McGinn has been the difference so far. But there's still plenty of time left in this game. Plenty of time for us to see if we can come back and get the equaliser. And if we do, then we could still go on and win this game. We're coming forward again over on that far side. Ben White, what's the cross like? Didn't get a chance because it got deflected behind it. It's going to be a corner, though, to Arsenal. So that's a positive there, isn't it? Maybe took a little bit too long to get that crossing, though, didn't he? Ben White. Probably waiting for some bodies to get in the box. Now, we're going to make another change here, actually. It's going to be Jacob Ramsey coming on for them. And I'm not sure who's going off yet. We'll let you know as soon as we see. It's Yuri Tielemans going off. I know Unai Emery did say in his press conference, didn't he, that there were 1 or 2 Aston Villa players just struggling a little bit with minor injuries following the game the other night. I mean, to be fair, they put a lot into that game, didn't they? And it's very difficult, isn't it? I mean, you've got to look at the fixture list and say, for Aston Villa to play Man City and Arsenal 2 games, I mean, Luton are the same. Luton have Arsenal and Man City the other way around at home, and it's tough, isn't it, for any team to play back-to-back games in such a short space of time against the 2 top teams from last season. And it's a big ask for anybody to do. Anyway, we've got a corner now over on that far side again. And it is Saka again with this corner curled in towards that near post area. Martinez is there. Oh, and then he bobbles about, almost crossed the line actually. Martinez and Ollie Watkins got in each other's way and they had a bit of a discussion there. And in the end, the ball almost fell into the net actually for an equaliser. It would have been an own goal, I think, off the goalkeeper. Got an own goal in this fixture last year, didn't he? He came and got that. It came off the back of, in fact, it would have been Ollie Watkins. Then it hit the post. Wow, it would have been Ollie Watkins' own goal this year. It was Heavy Martinez's own goal last year. Wouldn't it have been Ollie Watkins? And it was cleared away. He didn't actually go over the line at all. Wasn't actually even that close, but it was almost an own goal. And Arsenal suddenly gifted the equaliser there. But now Villa looking dangerous on the counter-attack, but that's not a good ball forward. It was looking for the run there of Diaby, but it was cut out pretty easily. And then Diaby's committed a foul on Gabriel. Mark C says, how lucky were they? Yeah, well, it was luck, wasn't it? Because they got in each other's way, didn't they? Watkins and Martinez. And it could have gone anywhere. It hit a post, in actual fact, and came back out. We were so close to the equaliser there. Nathan says, good sub from Emery and Villa's point of view. It brings energy and a goal threat from midfield. Yeah, it's a decent sub. Tielemans didn't really have much impact, did he? Again, he didn't. I didn't think he did that much impact against Man City either. So he's gone off. Has the ball over the top. Kai Havertz is in. Is this going to be the moment for Arsenal? Havertz plays it across the goal. Oh, Odegaard from the penalty spot again. This time he's put it wide. He looks frustrated. Mark C says, oh my God, yeah. Terry says, oh, Odegaard, yeah, that's another big chance for Martin Odegaard. Good play from Arsenal. Havertz was involved. That's a great ball across, isn't it, from Havertz? Odegaard's got to hit the target there. Good play from Havertz again. Really good play, actually. That's a lovely ball. And surely Odegaard's got to put that on target. I'm not necessarily saying he's got to score, but he's got to hit the target. And Nathan says, how? Well, I haven't got a clue. I obviously haven't got a clue. But this is much better from Arsenal. Mark C says, good run across by Havertz. It was a really good run across by Havertz. He's playing well again, Havertz. I think he's had a decent enough game today, as he did the other night. He scored a good goal, didn't he, against Luton as well. But this is much better from Arsenal, the second half response. We've been the better team in the second half. We played 58.5 minutes. But it is still 1-0 to Aston Villa. And we still managed to find the equaliser, which would, of course, end their long run of home wins, wouldn't it? Going back to February when we won here last season, of course. And there's still time for some similar drama. We've played nearly an hour. I was going forward again, Martinelli on this near side, but that cross is deflected and now Villa can get it away. And Villa just can't keep the ball. Villa cannot keep the ball, and this is looking good from Arsenal. But can we find the equaliser? That is the question, because we're certainly pinning them in. We are pinning them in. We're certainly giving Villa much more of a game than City did. But then you could say that, you know, that they gave so much into that game. Have they got as much left for this one? But you can only deal with what's there. And we play much better in the second half, you have to say. And again, though, we were behind at this point at Luton in midweek. And then we equalised after 60 minutes, didn't we? Which is just coming up to now. Are we going to equalise again and give us another half an hour to try and win it? Because that's what happened, didn't it, at Luton? Let's see if we can repeat it here. But it's a throw over on that far side to Aston Villa in front of the dugouts. And Luca Digne's going to take it for Aston Villa. We have now played an hour. And this was when Kai Havertz scored at Luton. Are Arsenal going to equalise again in a very different type of test away from home? The Luton game was, was a throwback in many ways, wasn't it? It's like one of them old FA Cup shocks. Anyway, Villa coming forward now. It is Diaby inside the box. It's just going to be 2-0. Diaby, he could have got a shot away, but he didn't. There's space over on the far side. Luca Digne with a shot. Oh, good save from Raya. That's the first effort that they've had there. And it was a good save from David Raya. Terry says, blimey, Raya saved it. Well, I mean, he saved it. It was a good save, yeah. I'm not surprised he saved it. He's a good goalkeeper. I think people need to stop getting on his back, actually. But that was good play from Villa there. Quick counter-attack. Oh, ball dinked over the top. Saka's in. Saka's in with Martinelli. He's gone round him. Surely this is going to be 1-1. It is 1-1. Bukayo Saka has scored. But actually, the flag's gone up. The offside flag's up. We'll have to see obviously, it's going to go to VAR. Is he offside? He took it well, didn't he? He got round Martinez, slotted it away. Let's have a look and see if he was offside. I think it was Declan Rice's ball. Yeah, I mean, he does look offside, doesn't he? He does look offside. Nice finish, actually. But I think he is offside. But we will wait for the VAR check just to confirm it. Oh, in fact, they've confirmed it already. Yeah, there didn't seem much doubt. I mean, it's not. It wasn't a tight one, was it? But anyway, Terry says Saka. Yeah, he did just go a little bit too early, didn't he? But it was a good finish, actually. It was a good finish. And now Arsenal have got a free kick, and it's a foul on Bukayo Saka now. He's got another kick on his ankle, and it was Douglas Luiz with that foul. And Saka looks like he's in a bit of pain. Is he going to need some treatment? I don't think he must take the most kicks in the Premier League, mustn't he? Actually, was he actually kicked there? It just seemed like he went down. Or maybe he was just caught from Douglas Luiz. It didn't look like Douglas Luiz actually fouled him. Maybe he just caught him. But Douglas Luiz has been booked, although it could have been for kicking the ball away. And that's his 5th booking as well. So he'll be missing from their next game, along with Luca Digne. So they're making 2 subs again now, Villa. Matty Cash is coming on, and Leander Dendoncker. So Villa are going a little bit defensive here, aren't they? I think they've seen the threat that we're posing here, and they've gone a bit defensive. We're midway through this second half. And it's been a much better response from Arsenal, you have to say, since half-time. We're playing a lot better. But the equaliser is still eluding us, isn't it? But let's see what this final 25 minutes holds. Look like there's a VAR check there from the referee. I'm not quite sure what for, but anyway, it is a free kick to Arsenal, which we've taken. Zinchenko's back in the centre circle. Mark C says, Louise trying to. Oh, did he? Okay, fair enough then. I mean, it was a foul. It looked like it was a foul. I didn't actually see. It didn't look like he kicked him or anything like that. But yeah, if he stood on his foot. Terry says, I like Matty Cash. Yeah, he's a good player, isn't he, Matty Cash? He's a really good player. Really tidy. Anyway, Villa coming forward again. They've not had many attacks in this first half, but they look very dangerous on their last one and looking quite dangerous here. Diaby on this near side. Can he get across in? He does. Oh, in fact, it was almost a shot. Tried to catch David Raya out at the near post, but he reacted well, the Arsenal goalkeeper. I think he's played well today, David Raya. He's made a couple of good saves. He's looked solid, apart from that one little shaky moment in the first half. Wasn't at fault for the goal at all. It was bad defending in front of him. So no, he's done well today. Actually, I've got to be honest. I think he's played well, and he made a decent save there. And also coming forward against Saka over on that far side. Are Arsenal going to find an equaliser in these last 25 minutes or so, plus stoppage time? We've been a much better team in the second half. We've pegged Villa back in. That one big chance for Martin Ødegaard, wasn't able to take it. He fired it wide from the penalty spot. And that's his second big chance of the game today. Usually he's a little bit more clinical in those positions, isn't he, on his left foot? But today he's missed 2. He's missed 2 big ones there, and suddenly Arsenal have got a lot to do. Terry says Saka getting the ump. Yeah. Anyway, Ben White over on that far side. That's good. That's really good. Finds Saka. And I don't know, is that a corner? Saka's booted the ball away. He'd be lucky not to get a booking maybe here. But the referee is going to allow the substitutions now instead. Matty Cash and Leander Dendoncker are coming on for Aston Villa. And it's going to be Ezri Konsa going off. He's had a good game, Konsa, actually, for Aston Villa. He's defended really. I don't know if there's an injury issue there. He's had a good game, and Matty Cash is coming off. So that's a straight swap at right back. Matty Cash is a bit more of an attacking right back, isn't he, than Konsa? And it is Babacar Kamara's going off as well. Boubacar Kamara going off. And Leander Dendoncker, the Belgium former Wolves player, of course, is coming on for Aston Villa for his last 24 minutes. Mark C says, he gets hacked from behind about 20 times every game. He does, yeah. He does get kicked about a lot. The Aston Villa fans giving a good reception to Ezra Konsa as he comes around the pitch here. I don't know if that's an injury with him, because I thought he was having a decent game, actually. Really strong defensive performance from him. So maybe there's an injury there. But Matty Cash is a decent replacement, isn't he? You know, you have to say he's a good player. John McGinn, the goal scorer. But Zinchenko wins the ball there. Nathan says, I do like Cash, but he can be got out defensively. Yeah, he's more of an attacking fullback, isn't he? That's his strength. You know, maybe you could say a little bit like Zinchenko, not the best defensively, but can offer a bit more going forward. But he's going to have to defend now. Is he Matty Cash? No, he's not, because that ball's run out of play. It was Martinelli who was after that, but it's gone behind. He's going to be a goal kick to Aston Villa. More time ticks away. But Arsenal are the kings of the late goals, aren't we? So we don't need to panic quite yet, do we? We've still got, 23 minutes to play. That's far too early to be scoring goals. You know, we don't need to score goals till stoppage time, do we? That's when we need. That's when we need to. That's when we need to score. It's too early to score now, isn't it? Let's not worry about that. You know, Villa won the ball again with John McGinn. Loves the ball over the top, and Diaby's quick, isn't he? He's got in there. Diaby's done really well on the edge of the box. Moussa Diaby plays it infield. The shot comes in from Watkins, and another save from David Raya. Little bit fortunate no one was following up there, but Ollie Watkins, who's scored a lot of goals this season, I think he's got 12 goals already. But look at that pace there from Diaby. Wow, he's fast, isn't he? And he did well there, and he put a cross in there, and Watkins' first time shot quite close to David Raya. Mark C says saved by Raya. It was, yeah. Terry says save Raya again. Yeah, it was a good save, but it's quite close. And he had to get down quick though, didn't he? So it's a decent save, but yeah, it's a save again. You would want your keeper to be making. You expect your keeper to make, don't you? And he's done well today, David Raya. You know, Martinelli now also looking for this equaliser. That's a good tackle on him, though. He's got the ball back again, though. Gabriel Martinelli plays it out to Ben White over on that far side. He's got Saka outside and plays it in field to Martin Odegaard. That's with White again. Arsenal looking to try to force this equaliser. Saka, he's going to try a shot from distance. He dinks it into the box for Jesus. Oh, it just falls the wrong side for Jesus. And he can't get a touch on it there, but Arsenal still putting the pressure on. And there's a free kick on the edge of the box there. McGinn has given that one away on Martin Odegaard. And this is a chance for Arsenal from this free kick. Mark C says we're looking dangerous again. Yes, we are. We are looking dangerous again. But that there, just Jesus was just his body shape was the wrong way, wasn't it? And he couldn't quite get his body around the ball, and it's bounced away from him. Trossard's coming on for Martinelli, and I think that's a good sub again. I think Trossard is a dangerous player. We know how good he can be. Scores a lot of goals, Trossard, doesn't he? And I don't think Martinelli's been scoring enough this season. Only 2 Premier League goals for him, and Trossard is on. Is he going to be the game changer? We said we don't have too many players from the bench that's going to make a difference, and Trossard is pretty much the only one we've got. So he's come on and he's going straight over to this free kick. I don't know if he's going to take it. It's about, 10 yards outside the penalty area, maybe a little bit less than that because the wall's actually inside the box. So it's about 7-8 yards outside the penalty area, just slightly on this near side, Arsenal's left. And it's a opportunity here for Arsenal to have a pop-up goal here. Martin Odegaard's over it. Declan Rice is over it. Gabriel was over it, but he's walked away. He's going to go and stand on the edge of the wall. Arsenal got a 3-man wall next to the Villa 4-man wall. And there's going to be a player who's going to lay down behind that wall or not, maybe not. Anyway, it's going to be Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard can hit a good free kick, can't he? It's not really been his night tonight so far, but he's probably maybe going to score with his next effort, isn't he? So anyway, this free kick's going to come in. Is it going to be Declan Rice maybe? With a right footer over the wall. Now, it's going to be Declan Rice. Declan Rice built it into the wall, but the wall takes all the sting out of it, and it's rolled through to Martinez, in goal for Aston Villa. In fact, it was our own player that it hit. Trossard, who just come on. That was Trossard's first touch. Mark C says we block our own effort. Yeah, well, it hit Trossard, yeah. I mean, it looked like it was pretty much straight at the keeper anyway, but that took all the sting out of it and made it an easy save. Terry says, yeah, it wasn't really that close, unfortunately, was it? But we didn't, again, maybe not making the most of that opportunity there, perhaps. Anyway, it's a long clearance there from Martinez. And Villa just can't keep hold of the ball, but they've won it back here. They know they haven't. Douglas Luiz has conceded a foul. He's already been booked. He needs to be careful. Not that every foul's a yellow card, and that one certainly wasn't, but it was a foul on Kai Havertz. He felt he'd won the ball, actually, there, the Brazilian, but I mean, he did win the ball, but not fairly. And Arsenal have taken a free kick quickly. We are into the last 20 minutes now. Are Villa going to increase their winning run at home? It's a 14, 15 games, or are Arsenal going to find a way to get a result here? And a draw wouldn't be a disaster, would it? Let's be honest. Mark says, he says Luiz is going to get sent off soon for a second yellow. He keeps going in and not winning the ball. Yeah, I mean, I thought he did win the ball there, but he probably just caught the player as well. I don't think that was a yellow card, that one particularly. But yeah, if he carries on committing fouls like that, it probably will be a matter of time. Villa coming forward now. Then Donker tries to thread the ball through to the runner Diaby, who's very, very quick. And Arsenal now. And there's a tackle there from McGinn. And Erdegaard's gone down. It's a yellow card for McGinn. That was a full-blooded challenge there, wasn't it? And Erdegaard's gone down. There's a 50-50 to be won. See, I think he won the ball there, actually. I think he won the ball. Let's have a look at the replay. I mean, it's a strong challenge. It is a strong challenge. Terry says, get up, Erdegaard, you tart. Well, yeah, I mean, it was a strong challenge on him, to be fair. He probably did get the ball, but I suppose if you're going in like that, it was quite a forceful challenge, wasn't it? I suppose you are going to probably get yourself a yellow card. And that's the game today, isn't it? I mean, a few years ago, it wouldn't have been a foul, would it? But anyway, that's the Premier League in 2023. Well, that's nearly 2024, isn't it? You know, Villa player's gone down over on the far side now. The game's getting a little bit niggly, isn't it? And John McGinn's has got his 4th yellow card of the season. So he's not quite having a ban yet, is he? They don't want to lose all their players, are they, Villa? Well, they're going to be in trouble in the next game when they have any players left. Anyway, Saliba and Ollie Watkins are having a bit of a battle, a physical battle. And then Luca Dean steps in and suddenly Villa have got a player over on that far side, Jacob Ramsey, and he wins the throw for Villa. And that was better than Declan Rice it was with the challenge. But that was a good, strong battle there between William Saliba and Ollie Watkins. And it looked like Saliba was coming out on top, but then Luca Dean stepped in and won the ball. And Villa have now got a throw over on that far side as they look for what. If you do feel if they get a second goal now, that probably seals the deal, doesn't it, for them? And they've had 1 or 2 little opportunities, half chances, you would say, on the counter attack in the second half. It's been all Arsenal really, without creating too much. That big chance from Martin Ødegaard, though, about 10 minutes ago that he put wide. He should have done better with that. He had one in the first half as well that he should have done better with, actually. But anyway, he still might have some time to redeem himself. We've got 16 minutes of normal time remaining. And Villa coming forward again. That's a switch here to the near side. John McGinn brings that ball down. He's inside the penalty. It goes around the outside of Zinchenko. Can he get across in? He can, but it's into the side netting. I think he was trying to get the corner, actually, off Zinchenko rather than actually trying to get the ball in the box. He was trying to win the corner, but he didn't. And the ball has gone behind for a goal kick to Arsenal. Coming down to Wolves the last 15 minutes. It's getting to that tense time, isn't it? That tense time in the game where the next goal is going to be so important. If Arsenal can equalise now, there's a good chance we can go and win it. Ødegaard's just giving the ball away in a dangerous area. It's Jacob Ramsey over on that far side. Plays the ball out to Luca Dean. He's had a good game, actually, at the left back for Aston Villa. He's got the ball again. Plays it back into Ramsey again. Ramsey going around the outside. Can he get across here? No, he can't. That's a good tackle by Declan Rice. It's going to be a corner, though, to Aston Villa. And Arsenal have got some defending to do here. This is probably the best spell Villa have had in the second half in terms of putting pressure on our defence. It's going to be Douglas Luiz with this corner. Don't forget, he scored directly from a corner, didn't he, at the Emirates? Was that last season when he curled that one in? So he's done it at other games as well, hasn't he? He scored directly from corners. It's a very windy day, so I don't know whether or not he's going to try and score from this, Luca Digne, because he's Douglas Luiz. He's certainly done it before, hasn't he? You know, a lot of players again crowding around David Raya. They've seen Arsenal's weakness there, haven't they? And they're going to try and exploit it if they can. The corner comes in towards that near post, headed out though by Gabriel. And Villa trying to recycle the ball. It goes back out to that far side. Douglas Luiz manages to keep it in, battling with his fellow Brazilian Gabriel Jesus. Now Arsenal got a counter-attacking opportunity. No, they haven't, because Villa have picked the ball up. Shot comes in from distance, but it's gone wide. That was Matty Cash. Does score a few goals, doesn't he, from fullback Matty Cash? and he fancied his chances there. He stepped in. It just opened up for him there, and he tried to drill a low shot into the bottom corner, but it's gone wide. He's got like a Love Island haircut, hasn't he? Matty Cash. Looks like he's been on the sunbeds with Ben White, hasn't he? Guess he's been on holiday, because he certainly hasn't got that tan in England in the last few months, has he? We haven't seen much sunshine, have we? It's been absolutely freezing. And we played football this morning. It was like a monsoon. Anyway, Zinchenko now on his near side. Plays the ball in field to Declan Rice. Oh, and there's a foul there. Declan Rice is going to get a yellow card as well. The referee's got his cards out in the second half, hasn't he? And again, that's probably, you can't really argue with that. Matty Cash steps in and Declan Rice has stuck his leg out, and that's a clear foul. And it is a free kick to Aston Villa. And that's Declan Rice's first yellow card this season. Wow. And we're nearly in December. He's played every game, I think, hasn't he? So that's what? How many league games we played? 15, have we? And his first yellow card, incredible. Anyway, another substitution for Villa. They're not messing around here, are they? It is Alex Moreno's coming on, and it is Luca Dean's going off. And he's had a good game as well, hasn't he? Luca Dean, again, for Aston Villa. He was good the other night. He's been good today. And Alex Moreno is coming on, the Spanish left back. And Villa have changed both their fullbacks in the second half, actually. Anyway, they've got a free kick now, Villa, just outside the centre circle, which Diego Carlos takes over to that far side. Villa have got the ball with Jacob Ramsey, and he's just held up briefly. It's going to be a throw to Arsenal. Is it to Villa? Sorry. And we're into the last 13 minutes of this game. You do feel as though the next goal is going to be so important. It's going to decide the outcome of this match, isn't it? And Villa are pressing for the second goal now. Throw down that far side. Ollie Watkins there again with William Saliba. Saliba comes out on top, but Arsenal can't really get the ball away over in that far side. And it's going to be picked up now, though. Maybe we can. Ball goes forward again for Villa, but that's going to run behind. It's a goal kick to Arsenal. And we need to get the ball up the other end of the pitch. Mikel Arteta sitting on his own now. Obviously, one of the coaching staff that was sitting next to him has disappeared. I wonder where he's disappeared to. Let's see if we can get some answers. Mikel, where's your mate gone?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Well, he's just left you sitting there on your own. So yeah, I can understand why you feel like that. But anyway, Aston Villa now, they are having a better spell in this second half, but they're just giving the ball away. I just want it back. Well, a couple of great tackles there. And now the ball's with Douglas Luiz, and suddenly Villa have got a man over here on this near side. Good defensive play, though, from Martin Odegaard. It was Matty Cash charging forward on this near side. In fact, it was Leandro Trossard. Let's play through Jesus now. He was too slow, and it was Moreno stepped in, and that was an opportunity there for Arsenal almost. Terry says, Jesus, go back to City. Yeah, it wasn't great play, was it, from Jesus there at all? Moreno again over on that far side. Villa back in possession. It goes back to Emi Martinez. Plays it out to Moreno again over on that far side. He's done well, the little Spanish fullback. Plays the ball up that line. But William Saliba's across there. Again, good play from Saliba. Had another solid game, hasn't he? It's just standard, isn't it? You just know he's going to have a solid game, don't you? But anyway, Saka was just fouled there again, or he felt he was, by Moreno. And Alex Moreno has his full name on his shirt, Alex Moreno on the back. Is that so he doesn't get confused himself? Anyway, we're going to be saved because Eddie Nketiah is about to come on. As Terry says there, hooray, Eddie's coming on indeed. Eddie is coming on. He's going to score, isn't he, the equaliser in the last few minutes. We're into the last 10 minutes now, though, so we need a goal soon or we'll be suffering a second league defeat of the season. And that was 1-0 the previous one, wasn't it? The referee here is given, what's he given? Is he giving a free kick to somebody? Anyway, we're going to make the substitution now. I think the referee's given a free kick to Aston. I'm not really sure what he's given, actually. I'm not even sure if he knows. And it is Jesus going off. Not a great game from Jesus today, I didn't think. He's not really had much impact at all. But this is a problem we've got, isn't it? If Jesus doesn't have an impact, the only sub we can change him with is Eddie Nketiah. And we know Eddie Nketiah is not good enough. And this is the issue that we've got. If we don't buy, I mean, Jesus said not very happy about being taken off, did he? I mean, what did you make of his reaction there, Mikel? Because that didn't look very nice, did it?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It was. It wasn't a great reaction to being taken off. You know, you're glad to be happy to be taken off, but you can't behave like that. Now we're Arsenal. We're above that, aren't we? Anyway, Emi Martinez is going to take this goal kick. So Eddie's on for Jesus. Oh, there's a mistake there from Zinchenko. Oh, McGinn was opinion of something there. Actually, I'm not quite sure. It looked like a mistake, but maybe it was just a push in the back, maybe for Zinchenko. Mark C says Rice is the only player who really tackles with some sting. He does. He's only got one yellow card all season, and that was just a minute ago. Terry says I meant Eddie coming on for a pre-sale run out. Yeah, maybe. Let's hope so. Well, it's not just a matter of selling him. We need to replace him with someone much better. So yes, sell him, absolutely, get rid of him. But it's no good just get rid of him and not bringing in someone else, or we'll be in an even worse situation. You know, because having Eddie is better than having nobody. Well, only slightly. But yeah, it is better than having nobody, isn't it? I suppose. So yeah, we need a replacement in. We need to get rid of him and get a replacement in. But will we do that? We'll have to wait and see. January's not far away, is it? Not far away at all. So let's see if it's going to be the striker that we want coming or what. Anyway, Villa trying to get the ball forward, but Gabriel hooks it up that near side. Good play from Matty Cash. In fact, what's the referee giving here? There's an Arsenal player down. Oh, it's Zinchenko. Guess where he is on the pitch? I bet you can't guess whereabouts on the pitch Zinchenko is when he got injured there. I'll let you have a guess. We're left back. We didn't have the ball. We were defending. He's a left back, and we're defending. And then he's gone down injured. Where do you think he was on the pitch? See if you can guess. I bet you can't. Anyway, the referee's given a drop ball because it wasn't a foul on Zinchenko. It was he just went down injured. Nathan says, you're going to laugh. I actually think Dominic Solanke from Bournemouth will be a really good backup striker. I don't know. I must admit, he's having a great season, Dominic Solanke. And he's not just, he's scoring a few goals. I mean, he got a goal today against Man United. It's not just that he's scoring goals, is it? His all-round play's good. I think he's a decent player. I agree with you. Nathan says, good link-up play works hard. Yeah. And he's moving and finishing in the boxes at a really high level. Could get him for a decent price. To be honest with you, I wouldn't necessarily be against that. He's not the sort of player that you'd look at and think, he's going to get you 25 goals a season. And in a sense, is that an upgrade on Eddie Nketiah, goal scoring? As an all-round player, yes, I agree. Oh, Trossard's just gone down injured there. It was Matty Cash in the challenge. The referee says play on and Villa coming forward. But that ball's just run away through to David Raya. So, yeah, that's my worry is he an upgrade in terms of goals? I think we need a goal scorer. Yes, he's a good player, Dominic Solanke. I agree with you. And he's having a great season. But is he the goal scoring answer to our problems? No, probably not. Not for what we need. Anyway, Trossard has gone down, as Terry says there. Was that actually a foul? Well, he's won the ball, Matty Cash. Did he catch him maybe on a follow-through? Let's have a look at the replay. Well, he did. Yeah, he did catch him on a follow-through. Yeah, but he's got the ball. I think maybe that's fair. I don't know if that's a foul. Mark C says Billing in their midfield covers a lot of ground. I think he'd make a good defensive midfielder. Funny enough, I said that about Billing 2 years ago. I looked at Phil Billing and thought, you know what, he looks a decent player. And yeah, I wouldn't mind signing him actually. But is he the sort of player? Looking at what Mikel Arteta does with the midfield, he wouldn't play many minutes for us, would he? Obviously he'd be good cover for Declan Rice. But Declan Rice doesn't seem to miss many games, does he? So it's going to be a tricky one, isn't it? Why would Billing come to Arsenal to sit on the bench when he's playing every week at Bournemouth in the Premier League? I don't know. But I've rated him for a while. Billing, I really like him. He can pop up with a goal or two as well, can't he? He's a threat in the air. He's a tall player, and I think he would be a good signing. Yeah, I'm just not sure where he would fit in other than just being Dec's replacement. Maybe if Thomas Partey goes, he'd be a good replacement for him. Does he want to come in and sit on the bench? I don't know, but I do rate him. I agree with you, definitely. Nathan says, I would take him over in Nketiah. He would score more, in my opinion. Yeah, potentially. I don't know. I mean, obviously he's got more this season than Nketiah, but he's played more games. He's played more minutes, hasn't he? So, and he's their main striker, isn't he, Dominic? And I do rate Dominic Slegger. Don't get me wrong. I do rate him. I think he's a very good. He's a tidy player, and he's scoring goals. Mark C says we need a more physical striker who can bully defenders. Yeah, I want to see a striker that can score 25 goals or potentially score 25 goals a season. Yeah, whether they're a bully or not. Oh, Zinchenko, what a terrible ball that was. And then we've got another player gone down as well, actually. Terry says, get Zinchenko off, get him out, I'd sell him. Adi Nketiah's gone down now in the centre. I'm not quite sure what happened there. He seems to be holding his face. I don't know if he was caught. Anyway, Arsenal players are going down quite a lot. And it's not like we need to waste time, is it, in this game? Because we're losing. So I can't understand what the issue is. Eddie's reckons he's just been elbowed in the face. Let's have a look there. Let's have a look and see. Well, I mean, he maybe got caught by his arm. The defender just turned like that into him. Oh no, he didn't. He did. He did raise his arm across. Actually, he did. That's Diego Carlos, isn't it? He moved his arm across to him. I mean, I don't know. Did he know he was there? I'm not sure. Anyway, he's got a yellow card, Diego Carlos, and what that means is that I know they could review that for a red card, can't they? Anyway, that's his first yellow card of the season, actually, which I find surprising because he's a very physical defender, isn't he? Anyway, we have got a free kick on the back of that. Zinchenko puts it into the box. Not a great free kick. Not very well defended either, actually, by Villa initially, but they do get it out on a second time of asking. We're into the last 2.5 minutes of this game. And Jacob Ramsey puts it out for a throw. Are Arsenal heading for a second defeat of the season? Or can we manage to somehow find an equaliser? Mark C says we're going to need a slice of luck in these next 10 minutes. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, not even 10 minutes, is it? It's 2 minutes plus stoppage time, whatever stoppage time is going to be. Will there be 8 minutes? Maybe. There's been a lot of little niggly stoppages, hasn't there? Obviously, a lot of substitutions as well. Villa have made quite a few. It is Villa in possession at the moment, but they've just put the ball out for a throw to Arsenal. Suddenly, Arsenal show a little bit more urgency to get the ball forward quicker. Zinchenko's left back, and he was just going to take a throw on that right-hand side. Anyway, I don't know. Arsenal got another throw, and that was off Douglas Luiz. We're into the last 90 seconds of normal time. The Villa fans are getting behind their team here to try and see him over the line. It would be another famous victory for them, wouldn't it? It really would. 2 in a week. Well, it wasn't great defending actually there from Arsenal. We've got away with it. Zinchenko now tries to loft the ball forward up that far side, looking for Bukayo Saka. Good play there from Bukayo Saka. Plays the ball forward to Declan Rice. Out to the far side, Martin Odegaard puts a cross in. Kai Havertz is there. Kai Havertz is there. Can he bundle the ball in? Oh, we have bundled it in. But it's not going to count. Is it a handball? I'm not sure. Havertz it was. I think Eddie Nketiah got the final touch on it. Actually, I'm not sure who scored that. The cross came in. Havertz got there. Obviously, it's going to go to VAR, you would assume. The referee's disallowed it on the pitch by the look of it. I don't know if Kai Havertz scored or not. The ball came across and it's hit his arm about 3 times. It was Eddie Nketiah, actually. I know it was Havertz who forced the ball home. I mean, it's hit Havertz's arm. It's hit Matty Cash's arm. It's bobbling around inside the box, and Havertz has just put it in. But the referee has disallowed it, and there's going to be 5 minutes of stoppage time. Yeah, it's hit his hand. If it hits his hand and he puts it in, it's going to be disallowed. That's the rules. It was a bit of a scrappy goal. They're checking it for a handball here. Yeah, it's hit his hand. It's hit his hand. Mark C says they're going to chalk this off. Yeah, I think they will chalk it off. It's hit both of their hands. It's hit Havertz's arm as he's gone like that. It's hit Matty Cash's arm as well. But obviously Havertz has ended up putting the ball in the net. So it's probably going to be disallowed, I agree. But let's see what the decision is. I don't have to look at it. The referee's not gone to the screen yet. I don't know whether he's going to go to the screen. But it's a last-minute goal again. Havertz has got one at Brentford, didn't he, in a recent away game that we won. Oh, Terry says, how long does it take to chalk it off? I don't know, really. I mean, for me, and I've always said this, if you can't see straight away from a replay, then you've got to, well, I suppose go with a referee decision on the pitch is what VAR is supposed to intervene if there's a clear and obvious mistake. If you have to check it 50 times, it's not a clear and obvious mistake. Now, the referee's disallowed the goal. He's disallowed it for handball. If you can't see a clear and obvious mistake there, because you can't really tell, has it hit his arm? Yes. I don't think it has been given. Nathan says, why does it take so long here? That's the problem, isn't it? That is the issue that we've got. It's supposed to be for clear and obvious errors. Clear and obvious errors don't take 5 minutes to sort out. Clear and obvious errors are clear and obvious straight away. Yes, that's obviously a mistake by the referee. He's got that wrong. So then you overrule him. That one there, was it handball? Was it not handball? Very difficult to say. It did look like it bounced up and hit his arm. And if it's hit his arm and then he scores, obviously that's disallowed. We know that's the rule. So if it's not clear and obvious, you've got to then you've got to go with a referee straight away. It doesn't need to take that long. It shouldn't take that long. Yeah, it's hit his arm there. It's hit his arm and then he's put the ball in. And under the rules of the game, that's why they took them so long to get to that decision. I don't know. Mark C says, we've huffed and puffed but not created enough and not been clinical enough in front of goal. Absolutely, yeah. That's exactly a great way of summing the game up. Martinez has actually got a scratch on his face. He's bleeding. Mark C says, we're going to see more added time. Yeah, we will. We're going to get potentially another 5 minutes because it looks as though Martinez is obviously he's got blood coming out of a cut on his head. Zinchenko's going off and Reece Nelson's coming on. And that's quite an attacking change for Mikel Arteta, isn't it? But we've played 3 minutes of the stoppage time, but we haven't because we haven't actually played since we reached stoppage time. We haven't actually played any minutes at all. Terry says Zinchenko off. Yeah. Mark C says gamble time. Why won't you gamble with 10 minutes to play? Why are you gambling in stoppage time? Why are you not gambling with 10 minutes to play? That's the time to gamble, isn't it? Throw everything at it for the last 10 minutes. And then who knows? It's no good gambling in stoppage time, is it? It's too late. I mean, it may well pay off. We'll see. But even if it does, it's like, why did you do that 10 minutes early? We could have won the game. Now we're scratching around to try and get a draw, which wouldn't be a disaster, as we said before. But, if he'd made that change 10 minutes ago. But again, you see, we don't really have the players on the bench that you could look at and think, oh, hang on a minute, McGinn's in here, is he? McGinn on the far side, he's going to seal it for Villa. He's in a penalty area. John McGinn. Oh, great defending actually from Gabriel. To be fair, he didn't really want to hit that, did he, with his left foot, John McGinn? But he had to. Ramsey pulls it back. He's come to the edge of the box. Matty Cash with a shot. It's deflected away by Arsenal there side of the penalty. Reece Nelson, actually. A good bit of defending from him. And that would have been 2-0. That would have sealed it, wouldn't it? We've probably got another 4 minutes to play. We've only got like 30 seconds of the 5 minutes, but I think we've got another 4 minutes to play because we didn't play at all, did we? While that VAR was going on, then Emery Martinez had to get stitched up or something for the cut on it. Well, not stitched up, but he had some Vaseline put on to stop the blood. And the Villa then almost got a second goal on the counter attack. It's that tense time, isn't it? Really tense time. Declan Rice now brings the ball forward. Is he going to get another late goal for Arsenal? Plays up his near side instead. Reece Nelson, can he get a cross in? He didn't want to cross with his left foot either, did he? So instead he's had to go back. Gabriel will cross with his left foot, but that's headed away by Aston Villa. Reece Nelson's battling away for this. We've played the 5 minutes of stoppage time, but there is going to be more. So if we do score, I don't want people moaning saying, oh, why have you gone over 5 minutes? We've gone over 5 minutes because there was a VAR check that took about 2 minutes, and then there was obviously the injury to Martinez. He had to get some blood cleared up as well. So that's the reason why he couldn't have done that when the VAR was going. Anyway, Declan Rice now for Arsenal plays up his near side. Kai Havertz, it was his goal that was disallowed. Kai Havertz has gone down, but the referee says play on, and Arsenal have lost the ball. It was Martin Odegaard, I think, and now Villa have got a chance to bring it forward up this near side. John McGinn, he's an absolute tank, isn't he? I've never seen a player work as hard as John McGinn. I mean, he's incredible, isn't he? He just doesn't stop running all game. He's a great player, John McGinn. I have to say, he's been great today. And it's his goal that may well win it for Aston Villa. Mark C says, too much tight around it, even when we're in the Villa box. Yeah, we do. We're looking for an extra pass rather than have a shot. He can do it. He can hit anybody and go in or fall to somebody. I don't know why we don't do that more. It's frustrating. Anyway, Villa now looking for that second goal. They're coming forward with Jacob Ramsey. Tried to play the ball out to Ollie Watkins. It's gone behind for a goal kick. We've played over 6 minutes of stoppage time of the 5. There's going to be, I think there's 2 more minutes at least left. We've got time. Declan Rice goes long, very long. Ball's going to come through to Martinez. Oh, and then Kai Havertz has run into him there. And the 2 there are squaring up to each other. Martinez there got the ball first. And Kai Havertz went into him. He did go into him late. He did. And he's not happy there, Martinez. And the referee's had to come across there. He got the ball there, went down, and then Kai Havertz has landed on him. And Martinez didn't like it at all, did he? Martinez didn't like it, and Kai Havertz had to go back. Well, Mark C says they're masters of our own demise. Yeah, absolutely we are. But you almost say that every time we drop points. We do it to ourselves, don't we? Of course, everyone's going to blame the fact Mikel Arteta has been sitting with me today rather than being in the stand. But anyway, we'll have to see. We played 7 minutes of stoppage time. We're only supposed to have had 5. I think there's 1 more minute. Looking at the VAR and all that kind of stuff, I think there's 1 more minute to play. And it's that free kick to Aston Villa. Martinez takes it, goes long, and it's going to run all the way through to David Raya at the other end. And we may well get 1 more attack to come in this game. We're going to have to make it count. Are we going to get another goal deep into stoppage time? People will start talking. If we do, they will. That ball played forward, headed out again though by Aston Villa. They're very close to this record-breaking home win, aren't they? And Arsenal haven't given this up yet. Declan Rice certainly won't give it up. They're crossing to the box. Eddie Nketiah. Oh, dearie me. That was the chance there. And that sums it all up there. Terry says, unlucky Eddie, only 20 foot over. Yeah. This is where, you get your clinical centre forward. I'm not saying it's a difficult one. I think he's offside anyway. So it wouldn't even have counted. But that's a terrible header into the whole end behind the goal. And that may well have been our last chance to have salvaged a point here at Villa Park. And Mikel Arteta has left his seat and he's disappeared. We'll get a word before we go, see what he's made of this game. And Unai Emery is close to beating his successor at Arsenal. And it will be a record-breaking 15th home win in the league in a row for Aston Villa. And Diego Carlos has been given player of the match today. He has been a rock at the back. In fact, there goes the full-time whistle. It is all over here at Villa Park. It has finished. Aston Villa 1. Arsenal 0, a second defeat in a row for Arsenal, a second difficult away game or top away game, and we've lost again. We've come up short. We always seem to come up short in these games. Didn't score at Newcastle, haven't scored at Villa. Yes, we had more chances today than we did at Newcastle. We had 2 or 3, especially Martin Odegaard had 2 big ones. But Aston Villa have won at home again. Wow, this is incredible, isn't it? Russ says they're disgusted. There's a clear agenda against us. Is there? I'm not quite sure if there is, actually. I mean, what was the agenda today? I don't understand it, really. We were beaten by a team that I thought showed more desire than us, were more physical than us, wanted it more than us. We want to just play our pretty football. We want to knock the ball around and try and pass our way through teams, and you can't do that. In some games, you can't do that. It's not going to work, and it didn't work today. We got away with it. Luton, who wanted to kick the shit out of us. Emerson says, we were terrible. But that was a goal. I'll never be convinced otherwise. Well, now you see, the problem is the referee's disallowed it on the pitch. If the referee gives it, VAR doesn't overturn it. VAR would give the goal. The referee didn't give it, and you can see why, because his arm was up here, and did the ball hit it or not? It's impossible to see, really. It looks like it may have done. It looked like it hit Matty Cash's arm as well, potentially. I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it? I'm not sure if it hit his arm or not. I'm not convinced it did either way. Russ says it hit. Did it hit his arm first? I don't know. It seemed to hit both of their arms. I think it came up off Kai Havertz. It's hit Cash. It's come back, hit Havertz again. I don't know. A lot was going on there. It was scrappy. I don't know. I don't know. We were almost clutching at straws here because we didn't play very well. Let's be honest. We didn't play very well. And we can debate the goal. That's fair enough. I'm not sure. And I don't think the replays were convincing enough. And it certainly wasn't convincing enough to overturn the referee's decision on the pitch. That's a fact. Russ says it's either a goal or a penalty. Well, it isn't, is it? It's the referee. The referee didn't give a goal, so that's the issue, isn't it? Because the referee didn't give it. It's got to be a clear and obvious error. And when you look at the replay, I don't think it's a clear error by the referee because it's difficult to see. It's difficult to know, isn't it? Everyone says 100% it's the second handball. Definitely hit Havertz's hand. However, his hand was in a natural position. Yeah, no, he is. I agree with that. But if it hits your hand at any point and then you score, it's always disallowed. That's the rule, isn't it? If it's the other way around, if it's going to be a penalty for the defender, it hits his body and then hits his arm, or hits his leg and hits his arm, it's not a penalty. But if it hits your body, hits your arm, and then you score, it's not a goal. That's the rule. So I don't know. I wouldn't really know. The replay wasn't convincing either way for me. It wasn't convincing, was it? The VAR. They did take a long while, but if I say it's a clear, if it's not clear and obvious, you can't change the referee's decision. And to me, that wasn't clear and obvious. It looked like he did hit his arm, and if it's hit his arm and he scored, it's not a goal. And that's what it did look like. Even on the replay, it does look like it's hit his arm. Yes, it looked like he hit Matty Cash's arm as well in that little scramble in the box, definitely. Emma said there they would never overturn that. No, I never thought they was going to. No. If the referee gave the goal, I think the goal stands. I don't think they overrule it. They overrule the referee. I'm surprised they maybe didn't tell the referee to go look at the screen, maybe. Not that would have really been any more conclusive, actually. But anyway, Terry says, sorry, and give Arteta away for free. Well, he's sitting with me still, Arteta. He's going to stay. Actually, should we just get a quick word of Arteta? What did you make of that goal decision for the goal disallowed, Mikel?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Well, I think Mikel Arteta might be in trouble again with the FA with making comments like that after the game. Anyway, Nathan says too soft and created nowhere near enough second half. Yeah, we had a lot of the ball second half, but you're right. That one chance for Martin Odegaard, that was it. He's got to put that in, hasn't he? Like one in the first half again. We've got and Donis says, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. He says, why wasn't it a penalty then? The stinking kangaroo on the pitch should go back to Australia. I mean, see, I don't know. They've both handballed it, haven't they? Or it looked as though they potentially have both handballed it. I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it? Russ says no penalty for us. What they gave in the Liverpool game earlier, exactly the same. I haven't seen the Liverpool game. I haven't got a clue. I haven't seen that one, and I don't really care what happens in other games. We can't do anything about. We can't do anything about this either. But I haven't seen the Liverpool game. I'll watch it on Matchday a day later. But I mean, I don't know. They're going to probably show some more replays of it now. I wasn't convinced there was enough there to overturn the referee's decision. That's the issue that I've got with it. Had the referee give the goal, it's a goal. They're not going to overturn that. And he didn't give the goal, so they've not overturned it. I don't think we can, the referee on the pitch has made that decision and VAR haven't seen enough to overturn it. And I don't think we saw enough in the replays to overturn it either. I don't think I didn't anyway, personally, Was it handball? Potentially, yes. Has it hit Matty Cash's arm? Potentially, yes. Was they even checking for a penalty? No, they wasn't. They was checking for a handball, whether or not it was a goal or not, wasn't they? They wasn't even checking for a penalty. I certainly didn't say that they was. Mark C said, these results against their top six rivals shows our need to buy a real deal world-class striker whose all-round game elevates us to high level. Yeah, and it's not just a striker, yes. 100%. We've been saying this for ages, haven't we? You look at the players on the bench. I've said this the last 3 or 4 games. Who have we got that can come on and make a difference? In a game like this, a tight game, you're losing 1-0. Yes, Trossard is the only one. And he brought him on maybe too late, and he didn't really have any impact anyway, did he, when he came on? But he's the only one you could think of that's likely to make an impact. And if you're gonna win the league, if you're gonna win big trophies, you need to have 2 or 3 players that you can bring off the bench that can potentially change a game and win you a game. And that's what we don't have. We don't have anybody on there, do we? I say Trossard is the best that we have who can change a game. And, he wasn't given enough time today. Aston Villa now 1 point behind us, by the way. That is incredible, isn't it? They're 1 point behind us. And we're 1 point behind Liverpool. 2 points off the top Villa. Wow. I mean, what can you say? So he says the better team won. We deserve nothing today. I agree. I don't think we did do enough to get anything from that game, but the goal will be talked about, I'm sure. Terry says, ask Arteta what he thinks of all the money he's wasted on crap players and his management skills. Okay, well, look, we'll do that, shall we? Okay. Mikel, what do you think of all the money that you've wasted on crap players and your management skills? What do you think of all of that?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Well, there you go. That's what he thinks of it, Terry. You know, at least he's honest. At least he's honest. I suppose that's fair enough, isn't it? Nathan says for rotational purposes also. Yeah, I mean, the issue of rotation is another thing he's not rotating his squad enough, is he? He's not. There's no doubt about that. You know, today you could easily have made another 2 changes. I said before, I would have started Trossard. He didn't start the other day. I would have started Trossard. I would have potentially started Jorginho as well, just to give us a little bit more, like someone who could hold on to the ball in midfield a bit more. And I think Jorginho can do that. But anyway, Mark C says, if we don't dig out a striker in January, we're screwed yet. And Donny says, we need a killer striker in January. Yeah, we've been saying this, my friend, for ages. Terry says, at last, me and Arteta agree on something. Yeah, well, I think I kind of agree with him as well there. That's what Labour says. He likes to rotate. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. And this is the problem, isn't it? He doesn't like to rotate. And you can't win the league. You can't win big trophies with 11 players or 12 players. You need 16, 17 players. And we've got players on the bench like that. You can look at that. We've got a couple of injuries. We haven't got masses of injuries, have we? Obviously, Tomiyasu's out, but he's a defender. He's not a game-changing player as good as he is. We've got Timber out. He's a defender. He's not a game-changing player, really, is he? So, you know, we're clearly short there, aren't we? Eddie came on today, had that header right at the end. And yes, it was a difficult header. He was offside anyway, but it was a difficult header. But you do feel as though if you've got a clinical striker you can bring on, or even start and bring Jesus on. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what was happening at Man City. They were bringing Jesus off the bench. And, you know, he was effective. Nathan says, what about Watkins? I don't know about Watkins. He's having a good season. What did he do today? You know, he's facing a big team. What did he do against Man City the other day? He didn't play that well against them, did he? He didn't do much today. I think he's an all right player. He's a half-decent Premier League striker, but is he a real upgrade on Eddie Nketiah? Slightly, yes. He's going to score more goals. He's got a few this season, but he had very little impact today, very little impact the other night. I'm not sure if he's the answer, Ollie Watkins. I'm not sure if he is. Nathan says he would cost north of 60 million. Yeah, and he's not worth that much, is he? You think if we was to, I don't think we've got 60 million anyway, if I'm honest, and we're not about getting rid of a few. But anyway, Adonis says, I'm going to start pirating the Premier League. I can't pay to watch with this officiating. No, well, that's what everyone does, mate. Just get on it, definitely. Terry says, we've needed a striker for 4 seasons now. What makes me he's going to buy? Well, he's bought one in 4 years. I mean, it's almost 4 years now since Mikel Arteta took over. Right? This is something that almost seems to be forgotten about. He's had his 200 games. 4 years he's been here. He spent what, 700 million pounds, whatever it is we've spent. He's bought players. He's had to move them on, and he's bought one striker in 4 years. Now, yes, you need to have a solid defence. You need to have a strong midfield. You need to have backups for those positions. But what wins your games is having goal scorer in your team that can get your games. In games like this that are tight games and you're not going to get many chances, that's when you've got your striker who will get you a goal and get you out of trouble. Not every time. I mean, look at Haaland. He's got 50 Premier League goals in about 40 games, whatever it is. And he couldn't get the goal on against Villa, could he, the other night when they played them? So they're not always going to do. But if you're going to win big trophies, that's what you need. 100%. You need a striker that is a clinical 25 to 30 goal striker. And in 4 years, Arteta's bought Jesus, who's a 15 goal striker at best, isn't he? And, you know, that tells me everything that you need to know. And I agree with Terry. What on earth makes anybody believe he's going to buy that striker in January when he's had 4 years to buy a striker and he's bought one? Terry says, please don't tell me you mean... Well, obviously you mean Jesus is the only striker he's bought. He's number 9. He wears number 9 on his back and he plays sort of as a centre forward, but a bit like Zinchenko, he's not playing in a position that he's supposed to be playing in or that we expect him to play in. It's probably the position the manager wants him to play. Nathan says, who would you sign? I would sign Ivan Toney all day long. all day long, Ivan Toney all the time, because he gives us that physicality. He's a goal scorer. He can link the play. He's the all-round. Is he a 25-goal striker? I don't know. Did he get 18, 19 for Brentford? Surely with our team creating the chances that we create, he would get 20, 25 goals a season. And in the second half, if we bought him in January, his band's up, he would go on and score. He could get 10, 12 goals in the rest of the season for us, and that's the difference, isn't it? That's the difference. Mark C says, Osimhen. See, I'm not sure about him. His goal scoring record hasn't been great up until now, and he's playing in a league where not at the same level. And I feel with Osimhen that I'm not saying he's not a good player. He's a physical guy, isn't he? And he could be good, but it may well take him 6 months to settle into the Premier League, or a year, or even 3 months. And we buy him in January. He hasn't got three months to settle in, because if he does, it's not going to help us this season, really, is he? Do you see what I mean? And I'm not saying he wouldn't be a good striker to buy. I personally would rather have someone who can come in straight away in January, hit the ground running, knows the Premier League, hasn't got to adapt, and can fit straight in. And that's why, for me, yes, Ivan Toney hasn't played for months. We know that, but he's been able to train since September or October, whenever it is. So he's training, he's ready to go. For me, that's what I would do. Nathan says around 20. Yeah, I think you got about 18 last season, didn't he, or something like that? For Brentford. So there you go. And Donny says 150 million to get Osimhen. Yeah, we wouldn't pay that. We won't pay that. We can't afford to pay that. Adoni says, what about Boniface from Leverkusen? Again, I don't know. Again, you've got that problem with them settling in to a different league, a different country. It's a gamble, isn't it? And I don't think it's too bad. If you buy a player in the summer from abroad, they've got maybe pre-season, they've got friendlies, they can kind of adapt a little bit more before they get thrown in, and then it's not the same. If you buy a player in January, their first game is going to be a Premier League game, and that isn't that same amount of time to adapt. I think in the summer you can buy a player like Osimhen if somebody like him or Boniface. Yeah, either of those two, I would say they're summer signings for me. Anyone from a different league, you sign them in the summer really, because then they've got time to bed in. In January, you need someone straight away who can hit the ground straight away for it, especially in the position that we're in, because this could be make or break with winning the league or not, couldn't it? Because look at this season, right? No one team is outstanding. Man City, no one's won the league 4 years in a row, and they won the treble last year. I think they're just struggling a little bit. Yes, they're going to get stronger probably in the second half of the season. They generally do, but I don't think they were strong this season. Liverpool are better than they were last season. They're not at the level they were at 2 or 3 years ago. We are there or thereabouts. We're in with a shout. Villa, as we've seen, look where they are in the league. Obviously the situation is there's a big opportunity now for us to win the league this year. As big an opportunity as there's been for years for anybody else. Man City have really dominated. Yeah, Liverpool have been close. And look at the points Man City have been racking up season after season. Very difficult to have won the league. This year, I don't think you're going to need 90 points or 95 points, 100 points to win the league. You're going to probably be able to win it with less. And it's a big opportunity for us this season. And you've seen at Newcastle, for example, you've seen today, it's the bench that's the problem. The first 11 are a good, very, very good team. We can see that quite clearly. Yes, it didn't quite always work today. We had some opportunities, but your first 11 doesn't win you anything. It's your squad that wins you things, your players off the bench. We need a striker, and we need one in January that can hit goals, that can score goals in January. It's no good buying a striker in January that doesn't score till March or April. It's no good. We need one that can score in January and in February. And for me, Ivan Toney's the one. Ivan Toney is the one. We can get him. It's not like we couldn't get him. Nathan says, I think Toney would want to prove a point too. Yeah, and he's an Arsenal fan, isn't he? He supports Arsenal. So imagine how motivated he'll be to win us the league. Imagine him coming in January and he scores the goals that wins us the league. He would be a legend, wouldn't he? He would be an absolute legend at Arsenal. Mark C says, Toney does score a lot of pens, knock those off, and look what he scored. Yeah, but he was playing for Brentford. And he did score a lot of goals that wasn't penalties as well, but he was playing for Brentford. How many chances did Brentford create in a game? how many opportunities does he get at Brentford? To score goals at Brentford, you've got to be very clinical, because it's not like when you play for Man City or when you play for Arsenal. I know not so much today, but we create chances, don't we? So if you miss one, you're going to get another one later on in the game. Haaland misses one, he's going to get another 5 in the game, isn't he? At Brentford, you miss a chance, you might not get another one that game at all, because they might not create the chances, especially away from home. And Ivan Toney's got the goals, and to me, that's a sign of a player that is a Premier League striker. And given opportunities at a bigger club with better players that create more chances, yes, he did score a lot of penalties. He does score a lot of penalties. We get a lot of penalties. We've had 6 or 7 penalties this season. So if he scored all of them, he'd probably have 15 goals already, wouldn't he? With all the penalties we've had, plus his other goals. That's halfway to a 30-goal season, and he's halfway through the season, not even halfway through the season. So I don't see that as a negative. If he can score penalties, he's a finisher. And if he's a finisher, with our chances that we create, he'll score goals. And that's simple as that, really. And Donny says, Lewandowski on loan. How old is Lewandowski now? He's got to be 50 odd, hasn't he? Come on. I mean, I think that's ship sailed, isn't it, surely? Mark C says, but he does have physicality. I think we're like, yeah, exactly. He's a battering ram almost, isn't he? For me, and I know I'm not Mikel Arteta, and Mikel Arteta's got his own certain style. He's got his own certain players that he likes to fit his system. I don't think Ivan Toney is his type of player. Honestly, I don't. The fact he's just been banned from football for 8 months doesn't strike me as the sort of player Mikel Arteta would take a gamble on. And I'm not saying that Ivan Toney is a bad person or anything like that. He's not. I think he's great. I love him. I think he's brilliant. But he doesn't look like a Mikel Arteta type of character, does he? He's very particular in the type of players that he buys, not only in the way that they play, but in their character off the pitch. And, Ivan Toney's just been banned from football for illegal betting. And I don't think that that's going to rate him too highly on Mikel Arteta's list, unfortunately. As good a player as he is and as a brilliant job as he could potentially do for us, I believe, I just don't think he's that type of player that, Mikel Arteta will be far more likely to buy Ollie Watkins, that was mentioned earlier, because Ollie Watkins seems like a really nice guy, doesn't he? He's not in any trouble. He doesn't seem like he gets up to anything outside of football. He just cracks on with it. Does his job and that's it, and he keeps out the limelight. And that's the sort of player that Mikel Arteta likes. So Ollie Watkins, I wouldn't be surprised if we sign somebody like, not necessarily, I don't think Villa would sell Ollie Watkins now. They're in a title race like us. They're not going to sell us their best striker, are they? Their top scorer in January. Absolutely no chance. Not for like less than 500 million or something. You wouldn't, would you? You don't sell your best players in January to one of your rivals that you're battling for the title for. And Villa are, whatever we think, they're battling for the title at the minute. They're a point behind us, 2 points off the top. So they're definitely battling for the title. We're in December. They're in there fighting. So, but yeah, I mean, but that's more like the sort of character of a player Mikel Arteta would buy, as opposed to Ivan Toney, who's, you could say, a risk in that sense, because he's just been banned. Not that he's going to get banned again. Hopefully not. Terry says that we should have done a deal for Toney last transfer. Yeah, we should have done, but we got the goalie from him instead. Maybe that's the best deal we could do. Again, I think it's money. Can we afford to buy Ivan Toney? Can we only afford to get a loan deal initially? Do Brentford want to give us another loan? They probably want to, if they're going to get rid of Ivan Toney, they probably want the money now so they can replace him in January, because they haven't had him up till now. They're desperate for him to be back, or goal scorer to be back, to get them further up the table, potentially knocking on the door of a Conference League qualification, because they're not that far off. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry, and Donny says there, why are there so many injuries in the Premier League? Something is wrong here. Well, I mean, it's a physical league, isn't it? There's a lot of games, and it's a physical league. Injuries are part and parcel of it, unfortunately. And the speed of the game now, the physicality of the players, it's difficult, isn't it, not to pick up injuries. We've had some. We're not doing too badly this season. When you think in the past, we've had some really bad injuries, decimated our squad. This season so far, we haven't done too badly, have we? I mean, you look at our first 11 today. That's pretty much the first 11 that Mikel Arteta would pick anyway, if everybody's fit. Yes, we've got one or two of the sub players injured. Fabio Vieira, he's not going to start, is he? Tommy Asu, yeah, he's a second. He's a number 12, isn't he? He's the next player out of that starting 11 that he'll come in and play. Who else is injured at the minute? Timber, who's a new player, new side, a young lad, played 45 minutes of Premier League football. He's not going to have been a starter, is he? He may have worked his way into the team by now, but he would probably have been a bench player. So we haven't lost anyone from our first team. We're not actually doing too badly for injuries this season. I'm not too disappointed. I'm quite happy with how the injuries are going at the moment. But obviously, there's more to it than just that, isn't there? Nathan says, I think you make a good point about players being able to hit the ground running. I think all players moving from abroad will have a settling in period. Yeah, I mean, usually, bearing in mind, we bought Aubameyang in January, although, 4 or 5 years ago, and he scored 10 goals in, 15 games in the second half of the season. And then went on and scored 30 goals the following season. He didn't need time to settle in. He hit the ground running, scored on his debut, and I say got 10 goals in that half a season that he played. So most players do. You're right. They come from abroad. They need time to adapt to the Premier League. The speed, the physicality of the league, and obviously also as well, Mikel Arteta's style of play is very restrictive, I think, and. Not only as a player from abroad got to have a settling in period, they've also got to have a period of adapting to Arsenal's and Mikel Arteta's style of play, especially as a striker, because he doesn't want his strikers to play the traditional number 9 kind of role, does he? He wants them to drop deeper, link the play, go wide, and all that kind of stuff. That's how he wants his centre forwards to be. And that's why Eddie Nketiah, I think, struggled actually, because Eddie Nketiah to me is a penalty box finisher. That's all he is. He's not a great footballer. He can't link play very well. He's just a penalty box finisher. But Mikel Arteta has tried to get him to drop deeper, link the play, and do that kind of stuff, which he's not very good at. And then when he gets into the box, if he does, similar thing actually to what happened with Aubameyang, right? Aubameyang was a penalty box finisher. He wasn't necessarily a fantastic footballer. He had a lot of great strengths. His pace was an unbelievable weapon. And he was a really good finisher. Mikel Arteta wanted him to do a different job, wanted him to be more working for the team, dropping deeper, going wide, and it took him away from the penalty area, it took him away from the goal, and his goal scoring record suffered, and he wasn't enjoying it, and that's what led to the problems. I think Eddie Nketiah suffered in a similar way. Not that Eddie Nketiah was ever going to be a 25-goal striker, because he wasn't, but I think that the role that Mikel Arteta wants the strikers to play, it fits Jesus, because he did that at Man City. He's never been a 30-goal striker. He never will be, because that's not the way he plays. He suits Mikel Arteta. And if we're going to buy another striker, my fear is it's going to be another Gabriel Jesus type striker that can do that job, as opposed to a penalty box finisher when he's got one in Nketiah that he doesn't use in that way. And he had one in Aubameyang that he stopped him doing all of that, all those things he was good at. So that's my worry. And I don't think, as much as I would love Ivan Toney to come to Arsenal, I don't think he will. Nathan said Tony scored 14 normal goals last season. Oh, well, there you go, 14. That's it's Brentford. We finished 8th or 9th or 10th, wherever they finished. Imagine how many he would get in his team. Yeah, I mean, what percentage of Brentford's goals was that then? I don't know how many goals they scored last season, but 14. You're looking at what they probably scored 40 today, maybe 45. So we scored a quarter there, more than a quarter of their goals, and that's Brentford. Imagine if you scored a quarter of our goals and we scored 80 goals. That's 20 goals straight away, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's where you are straight away. Terry says, Arteta buys nice guys and nice guys with nothing. Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's the character of the player that he wants. And yes, you don't want disruptive players. You don't want players who are going to get banned right, left and centre. You don't want a Joey Barton, do you, for example? But, yeah, I agree. The character of the players that we're buying, we've not got enough winners in there. You want players that's going to kick your teammate in training to win. I don't think we do that. I don't think we have that in us. We don't. And, look at the Invincibles. You think Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp weren't kicking lumps out of each other and the other players in training. Of course they were. Martin Keough. You know what I mean? That's what you need. That's how you win things. Look at Man City. They've got some right nasty players, haven't they? De Bruyne, he's not scared of getting stuck in, is he? Obviously Rodri, we know all about him. You look at Haaland as well. He's not exactly a shrinking violet, is he? Do you know what I mean? And we haven't got that nastiness in us, and you need it. You do need it. You're right. I mean, Declan Rice does all that. He does the nasty work for us in a way. He's the ball winner in that midfield. He drives forward. He's tackling and stuff like that. But he's a nice guy, isn't he? I love Declan Rice. But is he a natural winner? I don't know if he is. Obviously, he won the cup with West Ham last season, the Europa Conference League. But I don't know. Is he that out and out winner? He's a great player. We love him. He's maybe he's a little bit. One booking. He just got today. One booking in 20 games. I've compared him to Patrick Vieira in terms of the impact that he makes on the team, and I think he's our best midfield player we've bought since Patrick Vieira. But Patrick Vieira would have been sent off twice by now, wouldn't he? Granit Xhaka, great job he did. He'd have been sent off by now this season. Declan Rice have got one yellow card. You know what I mean? And it's like, come on. I mean, you don't want your players to be sent off, obviously, but you need people that's going to stick their foot in and if they get sent off, they get sent off. Nathan's got 6. He did get 20 goals last season. There you go. Terry says the problem I see is why would you want to play for Arteta? Well, that is a problem for certain players. Adonis says play Kiwior up front. Well, he's not going to play him at all by the look of it. Mark C says, well, adios, lads, till next game. Yes, my friend, thank you for watching. I don't know if you'll be in for the women's game tomorrow because that's going to be good. Nathan says, have a nice night, Mark. Indeed. Terry says, yeah, see you later to Mark. And Donny said, the referee's a Spurs fan again. He's Australian. He loves a big end. Is he Australian, that referee, Gerard Gilley? Is he Australian? I didn't know if he was Australian anyway. Makes a change for them all. They all come from Manchester normally, don't they? So it's nice to have a ref from somewhere else. Terry says, looks like we have to rely on the girls. Well, let's hope so, mate. Let's hope so, yeah, because we obviously couldn't rely on them today, could we? And Donny says, you aren't born a winner, you become a winner. No. See, I disagree with you. I think you're born. There's people that are natural winners, and they don't always win, but it's that mentality and that attitude, and that comes from within. It's difficult to pick that up. You can win a lot of trophies. Doesn't make you a winner in terms of your character. You can play for a good team and win loads of trophies. That doesn't necessarily make you a winner. A winner is somebody that you can be a winner without ever winning any trophies playing football. If you've got that winning mentality and that winning attitude, one player on their own with that isn't going to win trophies in a team sport. You need 4 or 5 of them in your team. And that's what makes the team a winner. But an individual person, if you look at individual sports, all the successful people in the individuals, and even ones that aren't as successful. I mean, I used to play a lot of tennis when I was younger. I always follow tennis, and I follow it quite strongly. And, obviously you've got players like Djokovic, right? That mentality that he's got, and all the top players, even Murray, who didn't maybe win as much, the mentality you can see, and even in players that don't win major tournaments in tennis, they are winners. You can see in their mentality they're winners, and you can't teach that. I don't think you can teach that. You've either got it in you naturally or you haven't. And if you haven't got it, if you play a team sport, you might be lucky and you're in a team that's got enough winners to get you trophies. I'm not saying that if you haven't got that winning mentality, you're not good enough to play at the top. Of course you are, but you don't develop that. You don't. You're born with it. You can see it in kids when you watch kids play football. You can see the kids that have got that natural. They will do anything to win that ball. You can see it when they're 7, 8 years old. You see it in kids; they've got it in them naturally. They're not taught that. You can't teach someone that. You can tell a kid you've got to go and win that ball. But where's their desire to win it come from? It comes from within them. And it's the same, and that stays with you for your life. That stays with you for your life. You've either got it or you haven't. And if you can tell, if you lose at anything when you're growing up and you don't like it, that's where it is. That's in you, isn't it? And you can't, you don't become that. You are that, and you may develop it more by playing with other people that are the same or similar, but you don't learn that. No, you're born with it. It's in you. And I don't see that in hardly any of these players. I think Declan Rice maybe has got that, actually. He's still maybe a little bit too nice, but I do think he's got that. There's not many in this team, I don't think. You look at them today. Where are the William Saliba? Yeah, I think you can see that in him a little bit more. He's going to win that ball at any cost, isn't he? He's going to get there and he's going to win it. And that's where it comes from. It isn't just about winning trophies. It's about that desire to be the best, the desire to get to that ball first, the desire to be the best that you can be. And not everybody's got that. And you don't learn it. You've either got it or you haven't got it. I believe that strongly. Terry says, Rice can't be a winner, otherwise he would have gone to City. No, but you see, I disagree with that. Arsenal and City, City are the team that's been winning loads of stuff, and Arsenal's a team that's looking to get there. And Declan Rice probably looked at that as one of the I don't know. I didn't speak to Declan Rice about it. We'll have to get him on with Mikel Arteta next time. But for me, Declan Rice has maybe looked at Arsenal and thought, I can take this team to that next level. I can get that team to overtake Man City. At Man City, he can't take them any further. They just won the treble. He can't take them any further than that. He can't improve them any more than that. They might win the treble again, but they won it before he was there. If he's come to Arsenal, and if Arsenal win the league this year, he can say, I've taken them to that level. And I think that's what's drove him. And I think that is a sign of a winner. That is the sign of a winner, because he's looked at that and he thought, I can make the difference here. I can take this team to that level, to that next level. And I've got massive respect for Declan for doing that. It would have been an easy option to go Man City, easy option. Just, Calvin Phillips. Do you know what I mean? Easy option to go City if they want you. Declan Rice has come to Arsenal because he wants to take Arsenal to that next level and he wants to take us to win us trophies. And I think you've got to give him respect for that, 100%. And I think that's brilliant. And that, to me, that's where I think you can see that's where he's got that winning mentality from. I'm going to make this team winners because I've got that in me to do it. And that belief that he's got, and that's brilliant. And you've got to take your hat off to him for that because he could easily have gone to City. Easy option. Nathan says, were City afterwards? Yeah, they were after him. Yeah, apparently they were. We don't know for certain. I think they were. Adonis says, I still feel good for the long run, though. I think we'll win it. I mean, the good thing this year is, for me, the fact that you've got Liverpool up there now, you've got Villa challenging, obviously us, City, and all those 4 teams are going to be taking points off each other. Villa have just beaten us and City, for example. We've beaten City. Liverpool may well beat us. We'll probably beat. We might beat Liverpool at home. We might beat Villa at home. And we're all taking points off each other. So I think that there's a big chance this year. No one's going to run away with it, and we're in there. We keep ourselves in there. We could well win it. We could well win it, absolutely. But then I think those other 3 teams at this moment in time will be thinking exactly the same. They'll be thinking they can win it. All 4 of us can win it. And it's great. It's great for the Premier League, isn't it? I think everybody's sick of Man City. We know our Man City are going to go on a 20-game winning run in December, from January onwards, right? And everyone's sick of it now. And it's nice this season if that doesn't happen. And if everyone's taking points off everyone and you're getting 4 teams that are battling away for that. Imagine if this, now in December, when there's 2 or 3 points between the top 4, imagine if it's like that in April still. How exciting would that be? And we're in there as one of them. Wow, brilliant. And, why not? Yeah, why not? Nathan says, I do not see them signing him when they have Rodri. No, but I think he would have been an option for him. Look how many games Rodri's missed and they've lost. I doubt he would have wanted to sit on the bench. Well, no, you see, I think Declan Rice would have believed that he was good enough to get in that Man City team. I honestly do. But I think he chose Arsenal because he wants to be the difference maker. He wouldn't be a difference maker at City. He'd be a very good player at City, along with a million other very good players. At Arsenal, he can take us to another level, and that's what he's seen, and that's why I think that's why he's joined. Personally, I might be wrong, and if I'm wrong, and he's just come to Arsenal because he thinks I'll get a game, I don't see that in him. I don't think he's come to Arsenal just because he knew he'd get more game time. I don't see that in him at all. I see it that he wants to win, and he thinks he can take Arsenal to that level, and I think he can. And be interesting to see how it works out. And Donny says, I don't think we have that winning mentality, and I've taken away. I don't think I have that winning mentality, and I've taken every team I've played with from mediocre to champions. I have trophies at different levels in different sports, and I'm lazy, and that's that. Yeah, but you see, football is a team game, isn't it? It's a team game, and I say individuals without that really winning mentality can still win trophies and be successful if you've got a load of winners around you. Look at Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger wasn't a winner as a player, was he? He surrounded himself with winners, and that's how he was successful. And that's sometimes what you do. And I say having that winning mentality isn't about winning trophies. You can all the trophies in the world, especially in a team sport, that isn't an individual, is it? It's about an individual sport, and individual sports you have to have that, or you don't win. In football and team sports, as an individual, you don't need it, and you can still win because if you've got it around you. If you've got no winners in your team, you're never going to win anything either. So if you've won all those trophies and it's brilliant, I bet you had a load of winners in those teams with you. It wasn't you, was it, on your own? You had all those players around you. And I bet you that a lot of those had that winning mentality with them, and that's how you won all them things. And that's great, and it's good for everybody, isn't it? And it's not with other people, but I think you've either got it or you haven't. And winning trophies or not winning trophies doesn't show that necessarily. Loads of winners never win anything. Loads of people that winning mentality, never win anything in team sports. In individual sports, they will, absolutely. You can see the ones in individual sports, they win trophies, and they might not win all the big trophies because sometimes there's better players. Individual sports, so in team sports, you just surround yourself with winners, and you're laughing, aren't you? See, I'm probably the opposite of that, really. I've played a lot of individual sports when I was younger, athletics and tennis in particular, and I've played team sports when I was football, and I still play football now. And I believe I've got an inner. I hate losing at anything. I hate losing anything that I do, whether it's a sport, whether it's anything. I just hate losing, and I've always been like that. Even when I was a kid, playing games and stuff. Even now I hate losing ball games and stuff like that. I get a right ump on it, and yeah, you can feel it inside you. You can. And I've not won much. I won a few tennis tournaments and stuff like that, but I never managed to take it on further. But anyway, Terry says, he fell for Arteta's bullshit like a lot of Arsenal. No. I don't believe that. He's come to Arsenal because he's the difference maker. He wants to be the difference maker. And to me, that's a great mentality to have. So he says, when does the new Stanley Kit come out? I don't know, probably next week. Nathan says, I don't actually think Liverpool have been brilliant, to be honest. They were not great against Palace. I didn't see that game. I don't know, but I'll watch it later. But I don't think anybody's been brilliant this season. We haven't been brilliant. We've got a lot of good results. City have got a lot of good results. Liverpool have got a lot of good results. Villa have been good, not necessarily today. They won that. See, they've just beaten Man City and Arsenal back to back, right? Not many teams do that. And they've done it in two different ways. They beat Man City with a real high energy, really strong performance. And today, maybe they didn't have the same energy levels and they've had to dig in and get a result a different way. And that's a sign of a good team. Arsenal data is look at say Luton, for example. We didn't play particularly well. Tough night. We found a way to win that game without playing well. I mean, today we wasn't able to follow it up and get a result, but that can happen. Antonio says, I always just find a way to win, and I've never been the most talented, and I'm a coward. I've never been the most committed, but I always win. I disagree with this idea. Yeah, but if you're talking about a team sport, as in football, then you as an individual is only a very small part of it, isn't it? So you're, whether or not you're the most talented or not, or whatever it is, that is, if you've got all those brilliant players around you and you do the job that you've got to do, that's what works. And every team's made up of lots of different parts, aren't they? And it's those parts coming together. And it seems as though what you've offered has been needed and important for those teams to make them successful. But if you played maybe from what you said there, maybe if you played an individual sport, you wouldn't be successful because you wouldn't have that winning people around you to push you along and move you in the right direction when you've needed it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you've done well at individual sports as well. But I think you'd find it very difficult to succeed at any individual sport unless you've got that inner drive to succeed. If you haven't got that in an individual sport, you're never going to get anywhere because it's so competitive, and everybody else that you're competing against will have that. And even if you were more talented than them, if they've got more desire than you, they'll be very talented people as well. If they've got more desire than you, they'll probably beat you in an individual sport. In a team sport, it's different because it's made up of lots of different components, isn't it? DMD says, respect to Villa, pretty impressive. To me, yeah, exactly. Unbelievable. Unai, Watkins, Martinez. Anyway, Arsenal had a penalty shout disallowed, Jesus, but the top of the table is impressive. Yeah, I mean, was that a penalty? I'm not convinced that was a penalty, actually, if I'm honest. But yeah, we had opportunities today, didn't we? Odegaard had two big opportunities. We could have got a draw today quite easily, but we didn't, unfortunately. Nathan says, thanks for the commentary, Rich. I'm going to chill out. I'll see you all for the big game tomorrow. Yes, mate, that's going to be good tomorrow, isn't it? We look forward to that. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Terry says, Nathan, take care, mate. See you tomorrow. Yeah. I say thanks, Nathan, for joining us again. Become a regular on the channel these days, which is great. Always nice to see you. But yeah, we'll be here for tomorrow, of course, for the women's game. But yeah, I mean, it was frustrating today. It was disappointing. I didn't think we played particularly well. It's another away game at a good side where we haven't been able to rise to the occasion. Yes, we were unfortunate. You could say we're unfortunate. In terms of the disallowed goal, yes, on other days that's given. Maybe the penalty shout you mentioned, maybe on another day that's given. But we've come up short again in a big away game, and this has happened too many times for me to think that it's just a one-off today, and we was a bit unlucky or a bit unlucky there. We did it at Newcastle. We wasn't good enough to get a result. We wasn't good enough today to get a result, and we've got Liverpool in the next away game. that's a big test now, isn't it? What a game that's going to be. But we thought today was a big game. Wow, what's that Liverpool game going to be like in 2 weeks' time? I mean, if we go to Liverpool and lose, then I'm starting to then think, well, that's 3 in a row now, 3 big teams away, 3 defeats. We've still got Man United to go to, which I know is not the ground it was, but we've got such a poor record there. Obviously, we've got City to go to in the second half of the season. Those kind of things worry me a little bit. We've got Spurs to go to, which Spurs are Spurs. They can't win at the minute, but by the time we play them away, I'm sure they would have turned it round. And then it says on to PSV, I'm over this already. Yeah, I mean, that's the good way of looking at it, isn't it? We can't dwell on defeat for too long. You know, we like to talk about them afterwards for a bit and then, yeah, move on to the next game, absolutely. And that's what we'll do. Yeah, PSV's the next one. And we'll move on and look forward to that, won't we? I'm sure that'll be a good game. We've already qualified. We can relax and enjoy that one, can't we? Terry says, we always seem to come up short. We should be used to it now. Yeah, we do. And I am used to it now. And I'm never... These games away from home in particular, you look forward to them, and I look forward to them because I want to see something different from Arsenal. And I think, can we show something different? I'm not expecting us to. You know, I thought we could have got a draw today. I did. I thought, you know, we've got a fairly decent record at Villa Park. I thought we could have got a draw today. But I was looking to see something different from us, looking to see us go away from home against a big team. I mean, you know, you could say Villa aren't a big team, but they're in Europe. Now they're in the top 4. They're challenging us. And I wanted to see us go away from home and show what we're really about. I was hoping to see that at Newcastle. Didn't happen. I was hoping to see it today. It didn't happen. I'm hoping to see it against Liverpool. Am I expecting to see it against Liverpool? No. Am I expecting to see us win at Liverpool? No. Obviously, it'd be fantastic if we do. But yeah, I think I've got used to it. And, you know, I see a lot of Arsenal fans on Twitter that maybe haven't experienced the amount of disappointments that we have, Terry. And they're kind of, oh, yeah, we're going to win, we're going to win, we're going to do it, we're going to do it, we're going to win the league. Mikel Arteta's the best thing since sliced bread and always that the other, right? And maybe they've not experienced enough disappointments yet. Maybe they'll change in a few years' time when they've suffered as much as, well, not as much as what we have, but when they've suffered as many disappointments as we have. You do get used to it, and then you're like, well, this team's no different. Ultimately, underneath it all, they're no different, and they're not. I don't think they're not. And today's shown it again. Newcastle showed it. Liverpool's going to be another opportunity for them to prove me wrong, and they still haven't. They're still not managing to do it. So we'll see. I mean, it's a different game. Liverpool, you know, why not go there and win this year? We haven't won it for long enough, have we? Terry says, we've lost that killer instinct. Haven't seen it since the Invincibles. No. I think that there were times under Mikel Arteta, wasn't there, where under Arsene Wenger in the years after the Invincibles, where I think we did have a little bit of that killer instinct, didn't we? But yeah, we've lost it along the way, and part of it is maybe moving to the Emirates, and part of it is just the evolution of the club and the team, maybe. But yeah, I don't see much different in this team now to last year or the year before, if I'm honest. Declan Rice is a much better player than we've had in those 2 seasons, but that's not enough to take us to that next level. You know, we've got, you know, let's be honest. My feelings on Mikel Arteta as a manager. I'm amazed that we did the season we did last year to get 80 odd points, score 80 odd goals, whatever it was, 88 goals, whatever we scored. I never thought Mikel Arteta as a manager would be capable of producing a season like that. I didn't, and he proved me wrong to a degree, but we wasn't able to win the trophy. Now we've got to go to that. It's no good getting 80 points every season if you're going to come second or third. You know, you've got to win the trophy. You've got to do it. And this year is a massive. We've got to do it this year. But I don't see anything in this team other than Declan Rice being a better player than what we had before. I don't see this team any different. The mentality is the same. The lack of a plan B is the same. The lack of I don't know, that when you're losing with 10 minutes to go, the desire is still lacking in those parts of the game. Yes, we do score a lot of late goals. We do, and obviously there's something in that. But I don't know. I don't see anything different in this team to last year or the year before, other than Declan Rice. And I say he's not enough, is he? You know, he's not enough. He can't win us the league on his own. As great as he is, he's not a player that can win you the league on his own, is he? Haaland a player like Haaland can win you the league on their own because they're going to score you 50 goals a season. And 50 goals a season is going to take you a long way. What Declan Rice brings is fantastic, but he's not going to win us the league on his own. We need better. We need different type of players. All our players are very similar, aren't they? They're very similar in build. They're very similar in stature. They're very similar in what they bring to the team. They play in a similar way. They're very skillful players, like to have the ball, and maybe physically not strong in that sense. You know, Kai Havertz has brought a little bit more physicality there, but even he's not the strongest. Obviously Declan Rice as well, but I don't know. We all the players are too similar. Look on the bench, as I said, they're all too similar. There's no one different. There's no one to change the game to come on. I mean, Trossard's a good player, but he's very similar to what we've got, isn't he? You know, he's that. You know, he's small in stature. He's not a strong physical player. He's skillful. He's got some pace. He's got a low centre of gravity. We've got players like that throughout our team. You need something different, and to me, we still don't have that. After all this time, after all this money, and we still don't really have that. We've got William Saliba at the back, who's a monster. We've got Declan Rice in midfield as well now. So we've strengthened those certain areas, but the one area of the pitch where that makes the difference, miles too weak, unfortunately. Terry says, yeah, what PB offers, we need to score and we fart about knocking the ball backwards. Yeah, sideways to the go forwards. Yeah, that's just Arteta, isn't it? It's Arteta. And Donny says, I also work as a referee. I've refereed pro in multiple countries. Oh, fantastic. I retired at 29. I think maybe if I move to England and start again, I could rise up the ranks and show these referees that it's done. Do it, my friend. We'd love to see you here because our referees, I agree, are terrible. Unfortunately, what that means, though, if you were to come to England, I'll tell you what would happen, right? Come to England, start refereeing. You'd have to start in the lower leagues, all that kind of stuff, right? Work your way through. And you'd start to be, you know, you'd get good reports. You'd start to move up the leagues. And then you'd be on the brink of the Premier League. And unless you was starting to be terrible and start making stupid mistakes, they're not going to let you referee a Premier League game, are they? Because they can't improve it. They can't have one referee coming in who's going to be much better than all the others, because one, it'll make all the others look really bad. And they won't allow that to happen, will they? So if you're too good, they'll stick you in the Championship or League One, or they'll not pick you to do those games at all. They'll let you run the line or something, because they can't have anybody good coming in, because it will show them up for our rubbish they are, even more so, won't it? Do you know what I mean? Or so, you know, I mean, we'd love to have you here, referee, anything that's going to improve what we've got, but I just don't think that's quite how it's going to work. I honestly think that what will happen is that if you're too good, they won't pick you, they won't select you. Because they don't want good referees, clearly they don't, because they're all absolute rubbish, aren't they? We don't have one decent referee. The fact every time it comes to a tournament, World Cup to that, we don't get any referees, do we? British English referees never get picked anymore. They don't get picked anymore because they're rubbish. Why would you pick them? So unfortunately, you come here, but I can't see you refereeing in the Premier League because they just won't select you. If you're good, they won't select you. So he says, Adonis, I wouldn't wish this country on you. You seem like a nice guy. Yeah, well, no, exactly. Yeah, lots of other reasons as well, probably not to come here. But I think as a referee, you know, you'll end up refereeing non-league games and stuff like that if you're good. That's where they keep all the good ones, I'm sure. Because they must. I mean, I've played at like local level football for years, and most of the referees there aren't great, but you do get some really good ones. You get some really good ones, and they end up staying in those leagues. Why? Because they're good, and they won't promote them up because they can't have good referees getting too high up, can they? Because it will disrupt the status quo. We had a good referee today. I would say this: I played this morning right in the game, and the weather was horrible. It was quite a difficult game to referee, and you know, she was a young girl actually. She must have been, I don't know, 17, 18, young referee, and I thought she actually, she made a bit of a mistake for one of the goals. It was an offside goal. She gave it, and this, that, the other. But you know, she's young and learning. But I thought she handled the game really well, and she's the type of referee that's going to go. She'll move up quickly. They'll promote her through, and she was good actually. She was really good, but. If she keeps being that good, she won't go to the very top because they don't want good referees, do they? But anyway, I just wanted to say she was a great referee today, by the way. And there are good referees out there, but not in the Premier League, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, but I don't like blaming referees. I don't like making excuses. Right? I look on our performances on the pitch, and I don't think today we performed well enough to win that game. Yes, we was maybe slightly unfortunate not to get a draw. We had some chances. Odegaard had a couple, especially that one in the second half. He's got to hit the target there. I thought the one in the first half he should have scored. So we could easily have got a draw in that game today. Would we have deserved a draw? Yeah, probably. We didn't deserve to win that game. And that's why I look at it. Yes, we can blame referees all the time. The referee could have given us this, could have given us that. They could have given that goal. They could have given us a penalty. They could have done this, could have done that. Yeah, they could have done. But there'll be occasions in the season. There has been occasions in the season when things have gone our way. Things have gone our way. Look at the other night at Luton. That's 2 points there. We could easily have dropped, and maybe we should have dropped. Our performance again wasn't probably good enough to win that game. A draw, yeah, okay, but we've won the game when we didn't deserve it. You can't keep doing that and winning games. That's not going to happen, and it proved it today. Yeah, maybe a draw. We probably deserved a draw today, perhaps. It didn't happen for one reason or another. We got 2 extra points the other day that we didn't deserve. So overall, we've gained 2 points in them last 2 games because we should have drawn that one. That would have been 1 point. 1 point today's 2 points. We've actually got 3 points from those 2 games. So we're a point better off than we maybe deserve to be. So, if you look at it like that. But today wasn't really good enough. And again, we said it before, we come up short in a big game and we need to do better. But it is what it is. We can't change it now. The result's done. The only thing we can do there is bounce back. Just we got a PSV in a week, and then we've got the game next. Who we play next weekend again? That's not Liverpool. Liverpool's a week after, isn't it? All I've been thinking about is Liverpool. I've been thinking about Liverpool game. I'm not really thinking about the other game. We've got another game, haven't we, before Liverpool? Hang on, let's have a look. Who are we playing next week? We're at home, aren't we? Brighton. Oh yeah, Brighton next Sunday. Yeah, that's going to be a tough game as well, isn't it? So we've got PSV in a week, of course, as we know that's on Tuesday, early kickoff. And then, of course, Sunday, the Brighton game. And then it's Liverpool to Saturday. It's like 2 weeks today, isn't it? 5:30 again. The last game before Christmas. So, yeah. The important thing is to bounce back, isn't it? That's all you can do. And that's what we have to do now, don't we? We have to bounce back on Tuesday and then, of course, next Sunday as well. Brighton won't be easy either. They're a good side. But we're at home. Although we sorted it into us last season and the season before. So, they've got a record at the Emirates, haven't they? Brighton. Terry says, and we shouldn't need to rely on officials. We should be good enough. Yeah, and obviously big calls in big games sometimes are important. You get a penalty. If we got that goal today given last minute, we get a draw, and the officials influence that slightly. But I agree. I don't like to blame that on the reason why we don't do well. We don't do well over a season. Referees don't cost you anything. Your own work on the pitch is what costs you the results. So over a season, in one individual moment you can say, "Oh, the referee cost us that." Yeah, but over a season, that doesn't. You'll get stuff in your favour. It does. Whatever people say, it does even itself out, and you can't blame that. The league title is decided over 38 games, and if your performances over those 38 games are good enough, you'll win the league. And if they're not, you won't win the league, regardless of the referees, regardless of these little decisions here and there. You can't tell me the Invincible team never got bad decisions. We did. That Man United game, do you remember when Patrick Vieira was sent off for nothing? Then they got a really dodgy penalty. Yes, they missed the penalty. But you know what I mean? The Invincible team had bad decisions, but we still won because that isn't what decides things overall. It might decide one game, or it might be influential in one game, but over a 38-game season, your performances win your stuff or lose your stuff. And also, to be fair, I've had some really bad games. Gave a penalty in a high school game, and when I watched it back, the defender was 2 feet away when the forward went down. Refereeing is hard. Which is refereeing really hard, absolutely. And I'm never ever. I don't always think the referees are great, but it is hard. I've refereed a game before. The referee never turned up. I'd gone to watch, and I was asked to referee, and I did, and it was tough. I sort of enjoyed it actually, but it is difficult, really, really difficult, because you can't see all the angles, especially if it's at a level where you've got no linesman. It's just literally you. That's what I had. I had no linesman. I was just on my own. Luckily, the players from both teams knew I wasn't a referee, and they knew I was just helping them out, and they didn't make it any more difficult for me than it was anyway. I sort of enjoyed it. I wouldn't want to do it again necessarily, but yeah, I mean, it's difficult. Absolutely, I'd never say it's not difficult, and I feel a little bit sorry sometimes for referees because it is hard. But now they've got VAR, that should take away a lot of those issues. Because when you're on the pitch on your own, you'll know more than me. You've got to make a decision on what you see straight away. You don't get a second chance to look at it. If you think that's a foul, you give it as a foul. If it's not a foul, then you saw it as a foul. You've given what you've seen. That's all you can do. And it is tough. I absolutely agree with you. But, you know, these days in the Premier League, we can't afford, with VAR, they can't afford to be getting things wrong because there's no excuse to get things wrong, is it? Because the VAR's got 3, 4, 10 replays as we saw today, and they still can't decide. That was a tough, to be fair, that was a tough decision, I think, because it was difficult. I couldn't decide looking at the replay. Did it hit his arm potentially? Yes. Did it hit Matty Cash's arm? Yes, potentially. Should it have been a goal? I don't know. He didn't give it, and that's it, you know. But yeah, Terry says that's because we had 15 wins. Exactly, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. People make excuses that referees cost them that when you haven't got the winners in your team to overcome that. That's what it comes down to. It's just to make an excuse. You know, managers make excuses all the time, don't they? Oh, the referee, this, the referee. Look at Arteta at Newcastle. All the Arsenal fans at Newcastle. Yeah, yes, that goal was dodgy, right? And there's no doubt the goal at Newcastle was dodgy, right? I'm not going to dispute it wasn't. But in 90 minutes, we had one shot on goal. And after they scored that goal, there was 25 minutes left, and we never had one shot on target. That's our fault. We lost that game. And it's easy for Arteta to blame the referee, to blame Arsenal fans to blame the referee. We had one shot a goal in 90 minutes. That's not enough to win you a game, is it? You know what I mean? Anyway, today was slightly different. We had 4 or 5 good opportunities today, didn't we? We could have scored a couple of goals today, and we could have won the game. Let's be honest, we could have won the game. Anyway, Adonis says, I don't want to be on the field. I want to just do VAR. I think I'll be great at that. But well, see, VAR would be fun. I agree. That would be much more fun, wouldn't it? Because you haven't got to take the shit off the players on the pitch. You haven't got to have players arguing with you. You haven't got to have players telling you what you should do. You're literally in a little box somewhere watching it on telly, like we do. I'm watching it on telly, and we see a replay. We can make decisions. Of course we can. Like today, we would have given that goal, wouldn't we? Of course we would. Look at, oh, well, was it handball? I don't know. It might have been. We'll give the goal. Who cares? You know, we can make those decisions. We're not getting grief from the players. The referee on the pitches. So I agree. VAR would be much better. I'd love to do VAR. Absolutely. I would. Yeah. Being a VAR ref would be fun, absolutely. But you've got to be a proper referee. You've got a referee on the pitch to be a VAR ref, haven't you? But I would like to sit in that VAR room and make decisions from a TV screen. Absolutely. What a job that is. That's the best job in the world, isn't it? But yeah, I kind of agree on that. That's good. What does Mikel Arteta think of it?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Well, he's not happy about it, is he? But anyway, there you go. Anyway, you know, we could discuss this all night, and we'll probably discuss it again, I'm sure, throughout the season because it's an issue that's always there. As it's turned out today, Arsenal lost again, 1-0, our second defeat of the season. Villa are now a point behind us. Liverpool are a point above us. It's all very tight in that top 4. Not a great Arsenal performance today. We could have got a draw. We could have won, but we lost, and that's the way it's been. Villa have got another victory at home, and we wasn't quite good enough today. I think we just need to accept that. We can look for excuses. We can blame referees. Yeah, let's do that if we want. But ultimately, let's look at ourselves. We didn't play well enough today. We've lost another big game away from home. We've got to bounce back. We've got to get a result against Brighton next week, and then we've got to go to Liverpool. And we know how tough that's going to be. We've got to play better at Liverpool than we did today, than we did against Luton, than we did against Newcastle, than we did against Brentford. Our last 4 away performances, 2 wins and 2 defeats. Even the 2 wins haven't been convincing performances, have they? So we need to be better. We need to be better. Terry says, I still don't get VAR. You've got everything at your fingertips and still get it wrong. Yeah, because a lot of it's just opinion, isn't it? Like today. I mean, I don't think there's that goal today, I think, is a typical example of VAR. You can't make a decision if you're not sure. And I'm not sure. I've seen that replay 20 times, that goal. And I'm not sure whether it should be given or not, whether it's handball or not, whether that goal should be given. Yes, as an Arsenal fan, you want it to be given. Of course you do. But when you look at it you look at the replay and you think, should that goal be given? I actually don't know. We've seen all the replays VAR got, and we can know that we'll see a load more later on Matchday and stuff like that. And I can't decide. Should that have been a goal? I honestly don't know. The referee didn't give it on the pitch. There's not enough to overturn that, I don't think. And if I was in VAR, trying to be unbiased, if I was in VAR, the referee hasn't given that goal, and I look at them replays, I'm like, I'm going to have to go with the referee's on-field decision because I can't see enough to convince me otherwise. And had the referee given the goal, it would have been exactly the same. The referee gives a goal, you look at it, well, I can't really see enough to disallow it. And I can't see enough to change that decision from no goal to goal. And that's how I feel about it as an Arsenal fan looking at it. So, you know, I know other people may look at it and think, oh, that definitely should have been a goal. You can read bias looking like if you want to, that's fine. But for me, having seen lots of replays of it, I didn't see enough to overturn the referee's decision. I don't think it was enough to either way. Whatever the referee gives, goal or no goal, there's not enough to overturn that. And it's supposed to be clear and obvious errors, isn't it? And there wasn't there for me. Terry says, if I was a Villa fan, I'd be gutted if the ref had given a pen. Yeah, exactly. I always look at things like that. I always look at them and say, how would I feel if that was given against my team? If that goal had been given, if Villa scored that goal and it had been given and it was a last-minute equaliser against us, I would be quite upset. I'd think, well, that should be disallowed. So I don't want to now say, well, that should have been a goal. But I say, either way, looking at that, you have to go with a referee decision, I think. VAR has to go, and I think VAR have done that. I think VAR have got the right decision there, going with the referee. As a referee on the pitch, got it right or wrong, that's for debate. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Because it looks like it's hit his arm, yes. Having seen 20 million replays of it. Was it enough to disallow the goal? Did it hit Matty Cash's arm as well? Yes, you could say, well, it's hit his arm, let's just give the goal. You could say that, and that wouldn't necessarily be wrong, but the referee on the pitch didn't give it, and there's not enough to overturn it for me. So that's it. But anyway, you know, that's happened now. He didn't overturn it. The goal didn't stand. We've lost 1-0, and we have to bounce back. You know, it's making an exciting title race, that's for certain, and we're involved in it, and that's all we can ask for, isn't it? You know, you can never expect to win anything. All you can expect for is to be challenging. You know, we got fairly close last year. I was never convinced we would do it. We're in there fighting again, and maybe we can do it this year. Maybe we can, but today wasn't our day, was it? So anyway, join me tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be even much more fun, because Arsenal women are playing Chelsea, and that's first against second. Today was first against third, and third won. So tomorrow's first against second, and we want second to win, because we want Arsenal to win, and then we'll go level on points with them. So join me for that. That's it's a 12:30 kickoff, so I'll be here at 12:15 with all the team news, bit of build up, and then we'll go into the big game. It is going to be good. I'm sure Mikel Arteta is going to be watching. You're going to be watching tomorrow, Mikel Arteta. Are you looking forward to the game tomorrow?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Oh, maybe he's not looking forward to it. You know, maybe women's football's not his thing, but it's our thing. We like it, and we hope that you like it as well. So please join us tomorrow for Arsenal women against Chelsea. That will be coming up for you at 12:15. I'll be here, so join me for that. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, please, guys. And yeah, as Terry says there, Richard, great show again. See you tomorrow. Hit that thumbs up button. Yeah, hit your thumbs up before you go as well. That would be really much appreciated. And me and Mikel, well, I don't know if Mikel will be with me tomorrow. I think he might be a bit busy tomorrow. We might have Jonas with us tomorrow, maybe. Should we see if we can get Jonas with us for the game tomorrow, maybe? But me and Mikel Arteta say night for you tonight. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Just before you go, Mikel, you got anything to say?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Oh, okay, well, I thought it was all right, this show, actually, but he obviously didn't like it, did he? Terry says, come on, you Gooner girls, indeed. So we'll see you tomorrow, me and Mikel and everybody else. So come and join us, 12:15 tomorrow, and we look forward to that one. Thanks for watching today, guys. Come on, you Gunners. We lost 1-0, but we'll be back. We'll bounce back. Don't you worry. We will. We bounce back. We're still second in the league. Come on. It's all right. Thanks for watching, guys. See you tomorrow.
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing.